Hello, hello everybody.
Welcome in.
How are you? How are you all doing?
Good morning.
I'm still not used to that on your head, Cthulhu.
Oh, there you go.
We'll get there.
Well, I'm top left on the
Oh
monitor.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
on the
it's
right
all
over here.
it's
Whoa.
all coming through my Discord, guys. So sorry, get used to it.
All right, I'm gonna have to like move that off to the side. It's
I
gonna
know,
throw me
scare
off the
yourself.
whole time.
Yeah.
How do I pop out chat and not look at myself?
That's a good point. Let's get chat open. Professional streamers, guys. Professional streamers. One day we'll be used to this. I mean, it's only the second podcast. All right, it's only the second podcast. Give us a chance. We're new to
working
this.
on it.
We're new to this.
Just
We're
give
new
us
to it.
one chance.
Just give us a
Just pop
chance.
out.
Just give us a chance.
There we go. I know how to do things.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. But welcome in, everybody. I am Mr. Grumpyface UK. If you've not heard of me yet, I'm not going to bother, honestly. I'm joined by EchoeWings.
Wow.
EchoeWings over here. Say hello.
Hi. What's up?
Like how
Yep,
she
my name
does
is Echo.
We're also
This
joined
is
today.
me.
Sorry, Echo. You
No,
go.
you're good.
Ahead.
Go,
No, you
go,
ahead. I was gonna say we're also joined today with Adonria and CthulhooWoW, who are both certified streamers on DNA. Hello, guys. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being on the second podcast. It's great to have you here. So we're just going to get straight in. I'm just going to go straight in. Last week we did introductions. We introduced ourselves. If you've never met us before, we did introductions and we did origin stories. We did why we started streaming. So Adonria, why don't you get us started? Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us why you started streaming?
Perfect. So hello everybody. I'm Adonria. So I'm kind of a Twitch baby. I barely started using Twitch maybe starting in January. So I was watching a WoW streamer. His name is Brutal Static. And he also has a child. He's about 2 years old now. And I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I was thinking, after watching him, I was like, this looks like something I think I would enjoy doing. And he was also making some money, which is really nice since I'm a stay-at-home mom, and it would be nice to find a way to help support my family. Plus, you get really lonely being a stay-at-home parent when you don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, the social aspect also really appealed to me. And I thought about doing it for months and months, and I just couldn't get the courage up. And finally, my sister actually was the one that like, just do it. So I think one of my first streams was actually me and my sister playing Final Fantasy XIV together, because that was her MMO of choice at the time. And then after that, I was like, oh, okay, this is fun. I like this. And then it just kind of blossomed from there. So that's pretty much it.
So now you do WoW, don't you? Mainly, you mainly
Yes,
stream WoW.
I pretty much just do WoW. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you do in WoW, Adonria?
So I'm a collector. I love to collect everything: toys, pets, mounts, pretty much everything. Transmog. So I spend most of my time farming old content in WoW. I mean, I used to be a Mythic Raider before the Wii one came along, but I don't really have time for that as much anymore. But maybe someday when she's a little bit older, we'll see.
It's something we share, isn't it, Adonria? We're kind of the same on that. Like, I like to make the gold, but I also like to do all the collecting stuff. That's basically the only thing that's kept me in WoW, really, for the last 5 years, honestly.
That's kind of fun too.
Yeah, exactly. But it's cool.
If it wasn't for streaming, I wouldn't be playing right now, actually.
Honestly, the same. Honestly, exactly the same. I would not be playing World of Warcraft right now if it wasn't for streaming.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like how we have this little sort of banter, which Emery kind of is taking over now. But we have this little banter. But every time I get a mount that you don't have, you get like a little bit angry, which I really enjoy, because I don't usually get the ones that I get. I don't usually go for. Like we had Elegon. What's the mount called from Elegon drop? Is it the astral?
Yeah. Shut up about that.
But we had that. I didn't even go for it, and it dropped, and you were so mad. You were like trying to be so supportive as well. You were like, yay, good job.
But I was very salty on the inside, guys. I was sweet on the outside, but I was very salty on the inside.
Salty. I mean, you have way more mounts than me anyway.
It's fair. That's fair. Emery's catching up to that little turd.
Me or Adonria?
Oh.
Adonria has loads.
Well, Adonria's above me in my screen. So Adonria's
300. I think I have 320 plus. I think.
How far away are you
Wow.
from the new mount? Because they've added
So
into...
350 is the new one.
Is it
And I think
350?
the 350 is the blue mount that looks like the one from Gul'dan.
Yeah.
And then 400 is the one that sucks.
The one that sucks.
It's the
What is
ugly,
it?
like it's the green flame. You know the flame bird from Firelands, the one that's on the ground, it can't fly.
Yeah.
It looks just like that except lime green.
Oh wow! So like the Raven Lord one, but it's fiery.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
it's not cute. It's ugly. I'm like, really?
I mean, I like
400
green
mouse?
fire. I used to Warlock main, so
I don't know.
I was gonna say that appeals to me, but if it was pink, you'd probably like it a lot more.
Well, yes, obviously. I'm like, give me a pink one. That'd be way better.
So Cthulhu, introduce yourself. What do you do? What do you stream? And how did you start streaming?
Well, what's up? How are y'all? So, what do I stream? Right now, I'm kind of taking I want to say I'm taking a hiatus from WoW, but I'm really not. I say it all the time, like I'm quitting WoW until BFA, but no, honestly, it hasn't stopped and it won't stop. It's an addiction. We all have a problem.
Yep.
But no, so
Yep.
I stream WoW. I have started playing or streaming Dungeons and Dragons on the weekends, and recently, within the past like 2 months, I've kind of been picking up story-driven games. So I'm starting to get the feel of those. I've never really diverged more into other games, so I've only pretty much strictly played Blizzard games like the last 4 years. Sad life.
You play some Overwatch too, right?
Oh yes, Overwatch. Anger Watch.
Anger Watch.
Yeah.
Anger Watch, as I like to call it.
Yeah. It's not just you. It's not just you.
Yeah, that's fair.
That game.
Very-
I love that game so much, but so tilted so quick. But yeah, that's about what I stream normally. Games I play, that's about the same too.
Yeah.
How'd you
Same
get started?
twos. So I actually started streaming back in early 2017 was when I first tried to stream. And it was during Trials of Valor and Nighthold. So it might have been a little bit later, 2017, but still like March, April, I think is when it came out. So I tried streaming the raid because we had 3 raid teams at that time. We had a mythic team, a heroic team, which is what I was on, and like a kind of casual team. And just because the heroic team and the mythic team were really close together, like we had the skill, just not the time invested to keep up with them and keep pushing content. So that's what we were doing. We were showing them, I was showing the mythic guys like, hey, we can keep up with it too. And it never really took off. I've got YouTube videos, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I kind of put it to the back burner and was like, yeah, never mind. I'll get around to it and I'll get better. And then probably around December, holiday time of 2017, rolling into 2018, I started up again, just trying to, see maybe I could get people, and it just never really took off. And it was kind of one of those things you like to talk about, Grumpy, when you're down at the bottom of there and you've only got, your bot.
Yeah.
It's hard to kind of get picked up. And what I was doing was doing mythic content or mythic dungeon, mythic plus.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing everybody else is doing. So you've really got to stand out. And I just didn't understand that concept at that time. So then what was it? Maybe like March, April when I met you, Grumpy. That was like when I first started actually getting a little bit better, progressing more. I was doing more things. I just come back from quitting WoW for a little bit of a break. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to gold make. Like, forget everything else. I don't want to raid. I don't want to do mythic dungeons that I've been doing for the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Let's set a new goal for myself. I was like, I'm going to make 1 million gold. That's my goal. And that's when I found Grumpy and I kind of kept it going. I think you were actually my first raid or first host, whatever it was.
Really?
You host? Yeah. Yeah.
That's really interesting, just to interject, because Samadan, who's another gold maker, was my first host. And you're saying that I then hosted you. Something interesting with the gold making community is we do have that very much. It's a niche, of course, but it is very much like a close-knit community.
So something that I do whenever I end my stream, if y'all have ever been in it, I play you've got a friend in me and I'm trying to scramble to find someone to host. If there's no DNA guys on, I'm like, So the first thing I look for as I start scrolling through, I'm like, okay, who's got TSM gold making? Who's got something about gold making? And that's who I tend to go for. If I can't find them, then I just I don't know. You get a random person who's got a mic and a not terrible, webcam that I can actually see you.
I think it's like part of that is you want to host or raid somebody who has similar content.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the people who stream the same stuff kind of stick together. And I think Adonria fits into that too. Like the collecting idea is kind of the same for gold making. Like you guys all have this, like the same general content. So it's really cool to be able to send your people over to somebody who's doing the same thing or similar.
Yeah, absolutely. And on further to that, we've discussed this before. There's kind of you don't want to, Adonria, you're very well known for being a family friendly streamer, and so you don't want to take your family friendly community over to somebody who's maybe not quite so family friendly.
I did that the other night. It was bad.
Yeah, exactly. But it's an expectation. Did you raid somebody? They weren't.
Well, okay, so I wanted to find a new WoW streamer, right? Just finding someone new, and I spent an hour and a half looking for someone that I could raid. And this is off stream. Guys. Not at the end of my stream. So I had vouched for this person already. So it was my late night Tuesday stream. And she was playing something different. And I was like, okay, that's cool. That's fine. So we raid her, and she's like drunk as all get out, and the F-bomb everywhere. And I was like, oh, great. So I felt so bad, but I was like, well, it's done. Like, what am I supposed to do now? But I was like, really? Come on. You were so good for I watched her for like a week, and I was like, really?
For one day.
Oh, well.
This is why people talk about consistency on Twitch, though, isn't it? I mean, we're not just always talking about your schedule, because you can have an inconsistent schedule but still be a consistent streamer. The tone, the vibe of your community and your channel is very much part of that consistency, and it's something that we've all talked about. We all struggle about it. I struggle with it because some days I get grumpy, some days I'm chill. It's very difficult.
Some days you're chill. Wait, I thought it was like every day.
Did you guys see the last podcast? I think that's the only time I've really seen him on screen not being grumpy.
Well, we can't. We sat down behind the stream's info guys before the first podcast. Echo turned around and said, she said, grumpy. She said, you better not get grumpy on this podcast. She said, if you do, I'm coming for you. And I was like, all right, calm. No, it didn't go down that way.
He was warned.
Yeah, I was warned. But no, this is what I'm saying. It's consistency. Elsie, we haven't introduced Elsie either, guys. How rude of us.
I know.
Yeah.
Who is that beautiful little girl that you have on your lap?
This is Elsie, guys. Hi. There she goes.
Where did you steal her from?
Yeah.
Oh, there's this neighbor that didn't want a kid, so I was like, I'll just take that home with me. I wish it was that simple. No. I was miserable for 9 months, and then she came.
It was the stork, right? The stork did it.
Oh yeah, I wish it was the stork. That sounds so much easier, guys.
So, what have we all been doing this week? I know I had a bit of a weird one, a bit of a weird stream this week. I am a variety streamer, so I stream all different kind of games. But I did my first ever Grumpathon this week, which was an interesting one. Yeah, I did a Grumpathon. I had this big idea in my head. So, for anyone who wasn't around when I streamed Alien Isolation, we were talking about how it's fine. It's time schedule, right? You live in Japan, it's fine.
Time zones.
Time zones. Yeah, time zones. But anyone who knows me knows I'm a massive Alien fan. Like Alien, the first Alien is still one of my favorite films of all time. The second one closely follows it. And I love Alien. I always have. I even like the bad movies. And yeah, and you guys all know me as being a really cynical, grumpy guy right now, especially when it comes to games. I'm always complaining, I'm always moaning. But one of the biggest, I didn't always used to be that way. I know you're giggling, Adonria, but honestly, I didn't used to be that way. I used to get so excited about video games. I used to pre-order. I used to get really excited about new releases, and I think the big game that stopped me being that way was Alien: Colonial Marines, because it was hyped up. If you didn't remember it, it was hyped up about being this amazing Aliens game. They Photoshop footage, they edited footage, made it look amazing, and it wasn't. It was an absolute pile of rubbish. And so that was the last game that I ever really got massively hyped for. And I remember that game as being possibly the biggest disappointment in the games industry for me in modern memory. And we'd streamed Alien Isolation on stream, and it was so fun. It was such a fun game. It was scary. It was tense. It was action packed. It was apart from this one little tiny bit in Alien Isolation, which I complained about on stream, which was a little bit slow. The game was just good from start to finish, and it was so good that I was like, well, we saw how good this was. Why don't we show my viewers how not to do it, if you will? And so I did a grumpathon. The idea was I was going to stream this horrible game that I absolutely hate and I can't stand, and I was going to get super grumpy about it. And it was kind of fun in a weird way. I was surprised. I thought I was going to get salty. I thought I was going to get angry. I thought I was going to rage quit throughout the game, but I didn't. I just didn't get that grumpy. I was more like the disappointed parent, you know? I was just like, well, do you know what you could have been? You know what you could have been? You could have been a doctor. But no, you're a live streamer.
Don't take notes, Adonria. Don't do it.
Don't take notes. But yeah, so we did a grumpathon. We counted how many times I got grumpy at the game, and we ended up on, I think it was 126. I think we played it from start to finish, and I got grumpy 126 times. So we're going to be now comparing every game to that. So if a game ever beats 126, I'll be very, very surprised. But yeah, it was a nice little interesting. Well, it's interesting for me. I don't know if it's interesting for you. It's a nice little interesting. Because I usually like to play games that I love. Little Nightmares is a good example of that. I love that game. That was fantastic. But it was just interesting for me to go the other way and pick a game that I knew I wasn't going to enjoy, and I didn't enjoy it. So yeah, that was the highlight of my week. Does anyone else have any interesting streams we're doing? I know you have, Cthulhu. I know you've had some interesting streams recently. Can you tell us about that?
Well, this week wasn't too crazy except for Sunday for me, which would have been Saturday for y'all. Right? Yeah, Saturday-ish. We had our first D&D session, which was amazing. I had such a blast. You don't even know how nervous I was.
I do.
I was freaking out. I'm like, okay, I got to know all these rules. I don't want to look stupid online. People are going to judge me. Oh my God. And then I completely botched it, and I killed the whole party. Like, oh my God. I felt so. I gave them a fair warning that they should probably run, but what did they do?
Nobody ever
we
runs.
got this.
Come on.
Yeah.
I go, guys. So, who was it? Guzzy moved down to fight the monster, like the big bad at the end, right? And I go, stop. I grabbed his character token. I moved it back up to the top. I'm like, all right. So this is a challenge rating 5, guys. Challenge rating 5. You are 3 level 2s. All right, 3 level 2s going up against the challenge rating 5. Challenge rating 5 is supposed to be a decent challenge for a party of 4, 5 level characters. Nah, we got it. We're level 2, and they almost died about 3 times before that. Can't fix what they want to do. So yeah, that was fun. It was a blast. I was gonna say can't fix stupid, but I'm not saying JP's stupid.
Oh,
Wow. I like how you specifically picked on JP there as well. Of everybody, it was like,
I just read JP. No.
Oh,
You guys, you played your characters well. Just the death house is very, very, very unforgiving, and it is it's a TPK factor. So everybody's rolling new characters. We're gonna start again this weekend, fresh. We're going to completely skip Death House, so that way we don't have to worry about it.
I mean, the clue's in the name, Death House.
Yeah,
it's very ominous. So, actually, we did a pregame 2 weeks ago just to kind of try, and I almost TPK'd them right there. The only one who lived was Guzzy.
Oh.
Or not Guzzy. Only
So
one who lived
I'm
was
seeing a pattern here. I think you really enjoy killing them, Cthulhu.
Don't play D&D
everybody
with
thinks
Cthulhu.
that.
Everybody like your character.
No. The rule is don't send the rogues first.
Wow.
They sent the rogues first, not the guy with all the armor and the big bad burly weapon. Nah, send the squishies up there.
So I've never played D&D. Can you? I mean, what is it allowed? Can you say, "Oh, I don't know, an explosion of miracle happened. You all live." Like, are you allowed to do
You
that?
absolutely can.
It's called the rule of cool.
You didn't have to kill them. I run campaigns
The rule of
too.
cool.
You didn't have to kill them.
I didn't have to kill them.
Oh.
So you wanted to. You admit it. You wanted to kill them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I could have come up with a way. I'm basically for that purposes. I could have been like, yeah, he's not going to attack you, but I like the structure. I like having some sort of rules, and if you want to RP your character in that way, well,
Sure.
okay. The story was laid out in front of you. You chose to run the story that way. So that's kind of my thought on it. I'll try not to kill you, because there was one point before where there was a bunch of ghouls that walked out of the walls, right? And they were going to die. And I was like, oh man, I can't have them die right now. We still got like 2 hours left slotted. Like no. So I can't, I made what would have fought them in the next room come and actually save them. So I can do things like that. I just chose for that final boss to be like, yeah, I warned you. You tried to fight it.
That's fair. Yeah.
I mean, at least this way,
thing.
next time they're all going to worry about death, so they're going to maybe roleplay a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I think they'll they're making characters a bit more smart for this campaign. Before they just made it because like JP's never played before. Guzzy's only played like a real mediocre game from the way I read it. SP, I don't think Sugar Princess had like the right character for it. It just wasn't going to fit with that campaign. I tried to make it work, but I just didn't think it was flow well. And lowercase J, she's a veteran, but hasn't played in like 10 years. So it was them shaking off the rust and learning how it goes. I think that they've kind of honed in on what they want to do and something that'll fit better with this story. So I think this weekend will go a lot smoother, and they don't have anything that's going to kill them yet.
Right.
Yet.
I like the promise.
So there's that, and then the other thing is I kind of on a whim today while I was in the shower right before stream, because that's my ritual. You guys were talking about like rituals, I think last time, or at least in the Discord, like before you guys get going on stream, is I take a shower. Like I'm like, okay, calm down, talk to myself, figure it out. I sit down, I'm like, all right, go live. And then you guys have 10 minutes to wait for me to like actually talk to y'all. But I was like, you know what would be really cool if we did like a lore discussion of like WoW. Like I want to go find out like all of these big characters in WoW, and I want to find their lore, and I want to figure out like what drives them into BFA. So
Interesting.
that's kind of what's going on in my stream right now.
I like it. So Adonria, you've been playing something differently, because when I first met you, all you did was play WoW, which is nothing against that. I like your WoW streams, but you've been doing it differently. Tell us about what you've been doing on Fridays.
So when I reached a sub goal, my viewers voted and they wanted to watch me play a scary game. So I had Dead Space already, and I knew the story of Dead Space was interesting enough that I could potentially play it without hating myself. So we decided to do that, and I had so much fun doing it that I decided to continue doing Freaky Friday every Friday. So we've been continuing the story of Dead Space, and everyone just scares the bejeebies out of me. That's pretty much what everyone does. And then I got gifted Dead Space 2, so after we finish Dead Space 1, then we'll continue with Dead Space 2. But it's been a lot of fun. I mean, I am a baby. Really big baby, so it's probably way fun to watch.
Bits.
Oh my gosh, over and over.
It's just scary when you're playing a scary game. That sound,
it's so scary.
Honestly, like.
And the funniest thing, I've tortured myself even farther than that. So I put scary games or scary sounds from the game as my bit notification.
Yeah, I like that.
I tortured myself even farther than just the regular bits. But it was fun. I had fun finding the files and putting them into the game and stuff, so like they're tiered and stuff. So it's been a lot of fun though, but it's been enjoyable. I didn't think it would be, but it was.
Oh, they are fun. It's a nice change of pace for you, like I said, because you do stream WoW, mainly all the time, which is nothing wrong with that. But it's a nice bit of change of pace. It's something, I don't know. I like your Friday scary streams.
It's been nice, and I've been thinking about adding. So I finally got my capture card. I had to wait forever for it to like actually be in stock with Amazon. It was like out of stock forever. I finally got the capture card, and I wanted to do Just Dance streams. Nice. So, I mean, if you haven't played Just Dance, it's a great workout. Echo, you can do it.
I'm going to. I was gonna like from what you were saying into I'm borrowing a Switch, and I'm gonna also be doing Just Dance. Yeah.
But yeah, I suck. Like Snuggie is like a dance goddess.
Oh, there's no way.
When I do it,
I can't.
I'm like a fish. But it's still a great
I call it
workout.
A wet noodle.
A wet noodle, yes, that's
wet
a great
noodle.
But it's so much fun, and so I was thinking about maybe like a couple of times a month I would do like workout Wednesdays and do Just Dance instead. But we'll see how it goes, because you do get the trolls do come out when you do those kind of games.
Yeah.
So So I'm just gonna see how it goes, but
What did we
But I think
decide?
it'll be fun.
Talking about trolls on those kind of games, what is it? Snuggybun ended up getting called a booty streamer.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Spooky Streamer. I told her, I was like, I'm joining the beauty streamer team, Snuggie.
I did my cooking stream and I did the whole booty streamer thing. So I've been inducted into the booty streamer Hall of Fame. So
I loved
there
it.
you go.
I like that clip. That clip was hilarious. I laughed. 'Cause I missed that, but I love.
But you've
seeing
seen the
clips
GIF?
afterwards. Oh yes, yes, yes. I
It's
saw
always
it.
a GIF.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Good.
Echo has good ones.
Oh, all the time. I think Echo started that trend. Like we have a trend in DNA of out of context clips. I think you definitely started
yeah.
that, Echo, with the
Yeah, no, that was me.
It definitely
The original
started.
Oh
with
No.
That was the
Yep.
oh my
Oh,
gosh, I
no.
laughed. I watch it all the time still.
Same. Every now and again, you're having a bad
I'm like,
day.
oh, yep, you're having a bad day. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch the Oh No clip today.
It's like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
having a bad day, but remember that time Echo really had a bad day? Like I'm gonna,
Yes,
I'm gonna
yes,
watch-
yes,
I'm gonna watch-
It was
So,
good.
Echo, what have you been doing this week? You just said you did a cooking stream. What's been going on your channel?
Yeah, so yesterday was supposed to be like a surprise random stream because I hit a pretty significant stream goal. So, goal, not even a goal. I wasn't even like, I don't know, I didn't even look. I just happened to be on my dashboard after a stream and noticed that I hit 100 subs. Like,
Which
nuts.
4 months, guys. That
crazy.
is
4
a
months,
big
100
achievement.
subs.
It's a
Big achievement.
Yeah.
accomplishment.
Honestly, well done.
And a lot of people are streamers here, so we'll be pretty frank. Like a lot of those are gift subs, and I know that eventually that number is going to go back down. But the people people who see your sub number put like a connotation on gift subs, saying, "Oh, they're going to go away." When in reality, you need to remember that those gift subs are from people in your community who support you. So even if that number goes down, it's still a testament to how many people really care about your content and want to support you. So
Of course, 100 times somebody went, "This is content I want to sub to." Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
And even though like I'm assuming probably like 25 of those are going to drop off because they've been, just random people. Some of them are going to be retained, but that number doesn't matter in the long run to me. It's that we hit that mark without me like begging for subs. And it's a really beautiful representation of my community supporting me. So Thursday, I was going to do this crazy stream, and I won't talk about it because I'm still going to do it. Maybe not this weekend, probably this week sometime, but I'll let you guys know. It's going to be really random and crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun. But Thursday, I ended up having to go pick up fosters. And so for some of the people who don't know exactly what I do, I foster and volunteer at a no-kill shelter full-time. So I stream, I foster, and I volunteer full-time. And I got an email. I was in back and forth for training to feed bottle babies. And they sent me an email like on the tail end of scheduling my training saying, hey, we actually have 13 puppies that are all bottle fed.
Ooh.
And we need help. I know that you're not accepting fosters, and I know that you haven't been through the training, but can you help? And I'm like, yes. Like, what do you say to that? No, sorry. Darn, darn the luck. No. So I canceled stream, even though Twitch was being Twitch.
Yeah.
And I couldn't start stream anyway.
Yeah, big
But
problems.
I canceled it. I'm like, I'm going to go get fosters today, even though we've been out of the game for a little while. So I went and we picked up two girls. They're the first girl puppies I've ever had. They're sleeping and I'm not going to bug them because they are newly orphaned. So it's really hard for them to adjust. But they will be on stream next time I start up. And that's all of my stream proceeds support the full-time fostering. Like there's no way I could do it without everybody's support. So that's why also the 100 sub mark means a whole lot. So in the future, there's going to be more IRL streams on my stream.
Oh, you're
and
going
I know
that
that
way.
can be a little bit. Yeah, I know that can be.
Why not? Why
I'm going
not?
full booty streamer now. Full booty streamer. I know that can be kind of controversial. There's a lot of things that some of us aren't super proud of in the IRL section on Twitch. But mine is going to be focused on information that the shelter provides me. So like how to pick a vet and how to tell if your puppy or your kitten is sick, how to train, because I'm learning that as well. Some easy tricks to train cats and dogs. Just whatever they give me. it's going to be me with dogs explaining things. I'm also going to start making cat toys for salty spouses. They foster kittens, and so I'm going to start crocheting little mice during the streams as well, and like talking to people about like enforcing with toys, and just it's going to be a little bit different, but I'm still going to play games because that's why I started streaming, really, is to hang out and talk to people and play games and talk about animals. So a little bit of both. So it's going to be kind of a switch in my stream. And then also the Just Dance stuff. I don't have the setup. I'm borrowing the setup. But I want to get it done before DNACon in September so that we have that set up and ready for people to dance during DNACon too.
I can't wait for those streams. I'm so jealous. So if anyone doesn't know, Echo and Fido are opening their house up for a meetup, like a DNA meetup, which they're calling DNACon.
Okay.
I feel like DNACon is going to breach some sort of terms of service somewhere. I think it puts off the wrong impression.
Probably.
It might already be taken by a different convention. But yeah, so Echo and Fido are opening up their house for a meetup, which I can't get to because I live on a different continent. But it's going to be fun. I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah, we're doing a
streaming
2-day DNACon extravaganza. Like one day we're going to do so every single day there's going to be different stuff. In the morning, we have plans for Muffin and I to do cooking streams together. So Muffin and I will be cooking food for the people who are coming to DNACon together in the morning. So morning cooking streams.
Nice.
And then afternoon, probably board games and kind of this vibe, like where we're talking about who's here, what they do, why they're in with DNA and all of that stuff. And then board games. So we have a huge table that can fit 6 people. Fi and I frequently host board game parties, upwards of 35 people in and out of the house the whole time. And we have 2 spare rooms that we set up tables in. Our living room, we set up a table. Our dining room and the office, we set up tables. So there's something for everybody. So we're going to do something like that as well, like where you're going to get to see people rotating, playing board games and stuff in the afternoon. Then the evenings, we're doing like a tiered competition. So we're going to do Smash Bros. And then Duck Game. I don't know if anybody here knows Duck Game, but yeah, so we're gonna do like tiered competitions and have like leaderboards and stuff. It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be awesome.
So you say you're gonna stream some of that?
All of it.
You're gonna stream all of it?
All of it. Yeah.
I best put some time aside for that because I want to watch that.
Yeah, so there's probably gonna be a stream going like 12 hours a day. With the cooking, with the board games. So probably small breaks to transition to the different areas, like from the cooking, there'll be an hour before we start a board game and, an hour before we start the other games, but that's the plan.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Are we streaming it from your channel or the DNA channel?
That is a good question. I kind of planned from my channel. There's more control for me that way.
Sure.
Also, some of it's going to be just me.
Yeah.
But we've talked about maybe letting other people also stream, like from 10 to noon. Muffin and Fi are going to stream something on their channels or whatever. But there's going to be like a constant flow of people streaming from DNACon. But I don't know. I think most of it's probably going to go from my channel for this time at least.
Yeah.
If not, some of it coming from DNA channel. Yeah. But that's all to be determined for sure, because I'm still figuring out the setup and like where to put the cam and all of that. So.
Of course. And that's in September, right? It says September you're doing that?
September 21st is when Muffin gets here. Friday is just going to be a get to know each other day because there's a lot of people who are going to be meeting for the first time. But the 22nd and the 23rd, the Saturday, Sunday is when all of the streaming is going to be happening.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I am jealous that I can't get there. But there we go. One day.
I'm super jealous too.
DNACon 2019. Get me there. Get Grumpy
there. Yeah, and we'll maybe rent a space for 2019. We're on the way to that.
Yeah. So. Yeah, you never know, guys. Again, 4 months.
Fancy.
4 months we've been going for.
Oh yeah, 4 months for just me streaming, and then 2 months for DNA, and we're already here. So
crazy.
A lot of potential.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And thank you everyone who is actually here now watching, supporting the DNA channel. It's a brand new channel. It's our second stream and we're sat at 29 viewers, which is crazy.
Oh, are we? I can't even see.
Yeah. I know you're not supposed to look at the view count, but it's not my channel.
Oh, I
so
look at
it's
it
fine.
all the time.
Yeah, I know. Same. So moving on, today's topic, we have a bit of a heavy one. Well, it's not that heavy. We have a bit of a
depends. We're gonna keep it in the middle. I think we're not gonna go too heavy, but we want to discuss it because it's important to our community.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. So for anybody who doesn't know, anyone who's not a WoW player, we are going to be talking a little bit about World of Warcraft, but the topic is actually about streaming and being on the internet in general. But recently there's been a lot of controversy, which I got, by the way, in the pre-show. So for you guys who are watching now, we have to obviously get this set up in the pre-show. See Echo, see how she's looking away. I say controversy because I'm English, and I had these three. Controversy, right? I had these three giving me crap before this show.
They're syllables, Grumpy. Controversy.
We'll get him there, guys.
almost.
Anyway, there has been a controversy, and I'm running the show, so I'm saying it that way. There has been a controversy about World of Warcraft. As there always is, there's always controversies about World of Warcraft. It's not a new thing. But recently, the storyline has taken a bit of a change of direction, or specifically a character has taken a bit of a change of direction. So for those of you who don't know, I'm going to try and say this in terms of people that maybe don't play World of Warcraft. There we go, Sylvanas. Fan favorite Sylvanas.
Hashtag Sylvanas did nothing wrong.
She did nothing wrong.
All right, but wait a second.
Sorry.
We're almost there. Yep, just
there you go. Goodbye.
okay.
There we go.
Bye.
Get out of here.
Just leave Pepe though. We need something on the
we need
screen.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh my god.
Should I change the name? Twitch.tv/Sylvanas. She might have to. She might have to go into streaming now that she's going to be booted out of the Horde. But yeah, without delving too much into the story of World of Warcraft, a big event in World of Warcraft recently, leading up to the new expansion. So a new expansion is being released for World of Warcraft in a couple of weeks, just under 2 weeks. BFA.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
don't talk about that. That freaks me out.
11 days.
Yeah, it feels like
11
tomorrow
days
now. Jeez.
Yeah, it's not far off. Yeah, same. So a whole new expansion is being released, and right now there is a pre-patch, which is where they have a little bit of an event going on for the lead up to the new expansion. And with this pre-patch, there's been some story. And there's two key locations in the World of Warcraft universe are being destroyed now. The Undercity hasn't been destroyed yet, has it? I don't think it has. I could be wrong. But the big contentious issue here is Teldrassil, which is a city in the game full of elves. It's a big tree and a big city full of elves. And the Horde, which is one of the factions in the game, you got the Horde and you got the Alliance. Again, I'm trying to explain this to people who maybe never played World of Warcraft before. It's very difficult. I know, Echo is like, bless him, he's trying so hard. There are two factions in the game, Horde and the Alliance, and they've always been at war. But the Horde have just attacked this tree and burnt it down. Now, the controversy comes from... a little short cinematic from this story, thank you, where Sylvanas, who is the leader of the Horde, she's the war chief of the Horde, basically burnt down the tree that was full of innocent civilians, women, children, men, civilians, all in there. And in the cinematic, one of the defeated elves says, "It's full of civilians. It's full of innocents. Like, what are you doing?" And she burns it down anyway. Now, I don't want to get too much into the World of Warcraft argument, but I know me and Cthulhu kind of disagree on this one. So the big issue is a lot of Horde players really don't like this move by Sylvanas. Because Sylvanas is a fan favorite, and she's always been, in my opinion, not in everybody's, but in my opinion, she's always been this kind of, anti-hero, maybe unsung hero, kind of, always does her things for her people kind of character. And this cinematic, in my opinion, just flips her around and turns her into a villain. And we had a little argument about this earlier in your channel, Cthulhu. Yeah. I personally think that she is now a villain. She is being portrayed as a villain. But we disagree on that one, don't we, Cthulhu? You have some opinions.
So, I disagree, and stop me when I squirrel too hard, guys. Okay, just cut me off. Just be like, you're done, okay? But I'll try to keep it short. So after we had our talk in my stream earlier, I did some more research, and I saw a really good thought on how, like, what's going on. So Sylvanas is taken. I can see where you guys say she's a villain, and she has taken that step to do a completely evil act. So that's fair. That is very fair, and I understand that point. So when we think about this, like she's starting to make more irrational decisions, or more, maybe not irrational, but more crazy decisions. So the thought was, what if she's the person who's going to make a decision, like make a choice that nobody else can, that eventually, like, not necessarily kicks her out of the Horde, but makes her no longer a part of the Horde because it's just so bad. But it needs to be done for for Azeroth, for the Horde and the Alliance both. She is the scapegoat. She's the person that can actually do it. And maybe that's what Blizzard is building us up to, that she's going to make all these crazy decisions that people are against. But she's the only one who can do that. The only one who's willing to take that sacrifice. And I read that and I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, maybe that's it. And it hit me in a spot where I'm like, yeah. But I also completely think that she's going to flip that switch here next week. And, you know, you could see her become the hero that everybody wants when she realizes that the Horde are her people as opposed to just the Forsaken. That's where I'm going to stop that because I will squirrel really hard.
We're not getting into we're not going into
not everybody here's
World of Warcraft.
What about the claim that she's being controlled by old gods? Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, I can see where it comes from. So I think this theory, because I thought this too, or maybe there's an influence like an old god or, you know, Lich King or something. I think this kind of touches upon what the problem is though, Echo. So Echo is arguing that maybe there is some sort of external force influencing Sylvanas.
Oh, I'm just bringing it up.
Oh, no. I'm saying some people, because a lot of people have made the same suggestion that maybe some sort of external force is having an influence on Sylvanas. And I think the reason that this theory comes up is because a lot of people are saying, myself included, that what she's doing now doesn't fit her character. And that's my biggest issue with it, is that what Sylvanas is doing now doesn't feel anything like Sylvanas. It feels like, it just feels like there's something else going on. And either Blizzard have just gone, well, Sylvanas is different now, get used to it, or there is something else going on. And this is what a lot of people, myself included, were, a little bit miffed about, especially if you go and actually talk to Sylvanas. Her motivations for attacking Teldrassil are just so, in my opinion, just so weak. There's no substance there. There's no, oh, we need to do this for self-defense or for whatever. It's literally, let's just go kill someone. That's how it feels to me and a lot of other players. Did you have something to add, Cthulhu?
So before I jump on that, you feel that making the attack on Teldrassil itself, so the world, the tree itself was like the bad call?
Well, no,
or just pushing forward to Darnat, or not, to the Darkshore.
So for those who haven't read the story, Sylvanas decides to attack Malfurion. It wasn't really about, well, it was kind of about Teldrassil, but she wants to assassinate Malfurion, and that's why she moves towards Teldrassil. Teldrassil is the world tree. It's the home of the Night Elves. So
the first point of it all was talking about too how they wanted to cut off the trade route, the ports for the Azerite. Yep. Because that's Azerite's coming mainly from Silithus. So that was the main, and then she's like, we can do this too, because a big blow to the Alliance, because Malfurion doesn't side with the Horde. No, he's gonna side with the Alliance, with the Night Elves, although he's a druid, and there are druids on the Horde as well. I think the move on the Darkshore was a good call, because she still sees everything as war, although the Night Elves might not see that, like Tyrande said, in the game. But I think the move to assassinate Malfurion, although it would be a big blow, was also kind of something that was irrational. Yeah. Or not, I keep using the word irrational. That's not the word I want to use.
Yeah, it's out of character. It doesn't, there's no strong reason for her to go and do that. This is my issue as well. It's like, why Malfurion for a start? Why him? There are plenty of
It's like she's an extremist.
Yeah.
She has a goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
But she's turning into an extremist.
Yeah, which in
my opinion, she's going crazier and crazier,
Yeah,
absolutely. But plenty of people
why I like that theory.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I know a lot of people like that theory that there is some external influence there, because again,
I hate that
feels
the one that she's going to be a scapegoat, that she has to make those decisions and be the extremist to move it in a particular direction.
Yeah,
I feel like with this whole Void and Light controlling, Light controlling Anduin, and then the Void controlling Sylvanas. I think that's just an excuse for them to, for not liking what they're doing, that it makes sense. Oh yeah, something else is controlling it because I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the way that it's gonna go. I think that's just people trying to make sense in their head why she's doing something.
Well,
like
interestingly, a lot of people that have been complaining about this, mainly Horde players that have been complaining about this, have said you've just made the Horde the bad guys again. Now, generally speaking, both Horde and Alliance are both morally grey. There are no, the Alliance are seen as the big heroes of, Middle Earth kind of heroes, but they're not. Like, look at Arthas, look at other, again, Illidan at one point was part of the Alliance, if you will. There are a lot of maybe not 100% purely good people in the Alliance. Same with the Horde, though. The Horde is perceived as this big bad, but they're not really. That's the whole dynamic with the Horde and the Alliance. The Alliance think they're the good guys. They're not really. Everyone thinks the Horde's the bad guys. They're not really. That was the whole, for in my opinion anyway, for years, that's how World of Warcraft operates. Because you go to the Horde side, you never feel for 1 minute we're the bad guys, right? You're not. Like, you roll an orc, you're not all of a sudden an evil orc who wants to go murder everybody. That's not, Thrall never wanted to do that, really. This is what I'm saying. So we had the problem with Garrosh. Garrosh tried to take the Horde and be orky about it. He tried to be like, no, the Horde's got to be strong. Let's wipe out the Alliance, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people didn't like that. They thought it cheapened his character. We're not going to get into that discussion today. But a lot of people in the Horde have either been saying that now Sylvanas feels like Garrosh 2.0, but a lot of other people have been complaining that you've now made us the bad guys. You've now said that my faction that I've loved for 12, 15 years, whatever, is now all of a sudden going around murdering innocent people. We're all of a sudden the bad guys, and a lot of people are not comfortable with that, that narrative that, hang on a minute, we have just committed genocide, because that's what's just happened. Sylvanas, whether you like it or not, has just committed genocide, and now we are affiliated with Sylvanas. She is our war chief. Hashtag not my war chief. I actually like Sylvanas. But she's just committed genocide. So a lot of players are angry because they're saying, hang on a minute, now you're now saying that I'm the bad guy, Can you see how that maybe has split the player base again? Because Blizzard like to split their player base by
Well, that's what this whole expansion is.
Or you're asking chat.
Isn't it? This whole expansion is about splitting the player base. Yeah, in my opinion.
No, but
I feel weird playing an Alliance because I play both. I play both.
Same.
I've been playing
both.
mainly Horde, but I do play both. I've mained Alliance, so like 3 expansions in a row, pretty much. Before this, I've played a lot of Alliance, so I play both. And having this like line drawn in the sand feels really strange. Like I see. So I'm not as invested in the lore. So I'll give you guys a kind of a perspective from somebody who's not as invested in like the faction v faction. Sure. And I like Sylvanas is cool, but she's not my bae. Like I get her, I understand, but I'm not like in love with her. Like it seems like a lot of people are.
Wow. All I'm saying is it wrong? Is it wrong? She's hot.
No,
That's all
I mean,
I'm
you
saying.
She's good.
You can do whatever you want. Yeah.
Details.
Adonria has a good point. So from my perspective, I feel like this is building up to things and people are getting upset over something that we don't know the whole picture yet, because there's so much speculation. Like, why'd she do it? For the Horde, for herself, for her power. Like, why'd she tell that shit to Vol'jin before he died? Like all this stuff together, there's so many whys, and I think that's on purpose. It's absolutely on purpose. People at Blizzard headquarters are like, yes, yeah. They're arguing. This is what we wanted. Like, this is the idea, this whole expansion. Like I was sitting like at BlizzCon when they were talking about BFA, and the whole room felt like if you take a side, you need to take that side and stand there, because the shit that's coming in BFA is going to make you wonder if you took the right side. And I feel like that's what's happening, is it's making you like the Alliance, maybe not as much, but they just got shit on. Let's not play around. That tree burned to the ground. Now you guys are like,
well, we know like, we're going to
during a war, if you're on the losing side, which now it kind of looks like we're the bad guys and you guys are losing in a way, you know what I mean? Like just from somebody who's not super invested.
Come back.
Some people might wonder if they picked the right side. And I think that's on purpose. I think that this is building to something bigger, and people who they know their fan base loves Sylvanas. They absolutely know.
I have to say, I think you're absolutely right. I think that is exactly what they went for. I think they've nailed it. But the problem is, yeah, absolutely. But the problem is not only have they split their player base from Alliance to Horde, they've also split the Horde down the middle. You know, plenty of people now are upset.
I think that's also intentional.
Possibly, but in my own opinion, they had their view of what they wanted the BFA conflict to be, and they fit the characters around that conflict rather than going, well, you know, let's look at the character arc and story and have a good reason why, for example, Sylvanas is going to burn down the tree.
I don't disagree
I think, exactly.
They've molded Sylvanas into a character that can do the split.
Yeah.
You know, that can split the Horde, that can like have other characters in the lore, in the game, express sides yet? Have they talked about whether or not they're going to stand by Sylvanas or not after that?
Not as far as I'm aware.
They haven't
Sourfang's had a little hint,
but
yeah, Sourfang seems like he's on board.
The next step is to mirror what's happening to the player base. There's going to be people who are like, she did it for the Horde, and there's going to be people who are like, we hate her. We're not associated with her.
This is the problem, though, because this is exactly what happened with Garrosh. Garrosh did this exact same thing already. Garrosh came along and was like, no, screw the Alliance. The Horde's got to be strong. Like, just kill them all. And if you did Mythic raiding, right? You remember that little scene at the end where you Mythic Garrosh and you have all of the Horde and the Alliance all spiked up at the wall. I only figured that out in Legion, by the way. But you have all that thing. That was whole Garrosh's point. He was like, no, the Horde comes first. Let's go off and commit genocide. Well, he didn't. Did he actually commit genocide, Garrosh? I know he murdered a lot of people, but they were warriors.
All I gotta say is Theramore.
There we go. Okay, he wanted to attack Theramore. He wanted to wipe the Alliance off the face of the earth. We had the same problem. We had the same problem then. You know, the Horde were like almost split then, and it didn't work. A lot of people hated that. A lot of people hated the whole Siege of Orgrimmar problem, and this is why
they know that. Blizz knows that.
Exactly. So why are they doing it again?
They watched shit burn down when they did that. When people hated on Garrosh so much, we're not giving Blizz enough credit, because I think people hate what's happening to Sylvanas. I get it. I don't like it, and I'm not super invested. It makes me feel bad as somebody who's mains Hordes right now. And also like Sylvanas, like that's hard to watch her do that. And you guys know me, like genocide is not something I'm gonna condone.
Yeah.
So even in like an RP sense, that's very hard for me to stand by. But I do think that that's not over. Like that's not gonna be Sylvanas's last act. She's got to have. There's gonna be an explanation, and we're either going to accept it and say, yeah, that was probably a good idea. Like, we don't condone that a bunch of people died, but we understand why she did it, and she's not a bad guy anymore. Or they're going to use her for the purposes that they have so far displayed that she's going to be used for, and people are going to hate it, and that's the way her character is going. So we don't know. And there are definitely two sides. People who think that she's a bad guy, we don't like her, and Blizzard fucked up because everybody loves her. And then the other side is going, wait a second, like, yeah, maybe that wasn't great, but she had her reasons and she's going to be redeemed. Like, we don't know. And we can hate Blizz with what they did with her, but we can't like fully invest in that until we know what's going to happen. And that takes time.
You bring up a really interesting point that I've been thinking about while I've been discussing it. I think almost, and this is just my own opinion, I think maybe they really wanted a big controversy about this launch, because like I say all the time, you know, bad press is good press. You know, bad press gets people talking about you.
They are creating this on purpose.
Yeah,
they are turning her into this on purpose for splitting the player base, for splitting the in-game NPCs, for creating some hype for the Alliance to come back and play because they want to defeat Sylvanas. Like, how cool would the Alliance feel if they got to like beat, you know, like if one of the raids down the line is
this is
Sylvanas.
What happened with Garrosh though. They did the exact
disgusting.
same thing. They wanted the Alliance to siege Orgrimmar and be like, yeah, we're beating Garrosh and Orgrimmar. No one gave a shit. No one cared.
Right, but
you know?
Well,
I mean, with Sylvanas, they
2.0,
probably would.
right?
I think Sylvanas, they probably would, because she's a big.
Yeah,
honestly, I think there are more Sylvanas fans.
They
than there are
enjoyed the
Garrosh
fact
fans.
that they got so many people riled up over Garrosh, but they didn't do it very well. This is basically like, how can we do that times 10?
All I'm saying is, if Sylvanas becomes a boss, I'm quitting WoW.
Bye, Grumps.
So,
Quitting.
what do you think about potentially having Anduin and Sylvanas as end raid bosses. That was something I read a hot minute ago.
I would quit in a heartbeat.
Anduin, why would Anduin? What's wrong with him? He's like,
I mean, I'd fight
No,
Anduin.
Just because
see,
he's the leader.
It's already working. Adonria is already like, but he's the good guy. See?
he is the
Yeah.
good guy.
See what's happening?
He didn't burn no one sitting down.
So
Yes.
Just saying.
Yet.
real quick,
Yet.
real quick.
What do you
right?
think he's gonna do now? What do you think he's gonna do now with this shit
Blow
happening?
up a city. That's what I'm gonna do.
Exactly.
And I
Who's
would-
sitting there whispering in his
Adonria
ear?
fell for it. She fell for the crap.
But that's the
They burned
point.
my tree, Grumpy. I'm
See?
so mad.
I mean, right there. It is creating this investment in their story that they haven't had before without fucking something up. That's what's happening. Their story
I know they're doing
is
it on purpose.
tired. Their storylines are tired. The in-game content you don't invest in anymore. People who rated the last expansion were like, okay, Legion's here, kill them off we go.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the stuff with Illidan was really cool, but
Disagree.
we've already seen Illidan. We've already
Disagree.
done like that's
They
already
should have left
that's
Illidan
dead
out
and
of
buried.
Legion.
You know,
They ruined
so like
his
this
character
is
for me.
creating an investment. Now Horde needs to come back to defend their name, and the Alliance are like, but we're the good guys now, right? For how long?
But you
For
say we've
how
got to
long are
defend
you
our
guys the
name
good guys?
by what? Getting rid
Right.
of Sylvanas? Like, no, she's my bae. She's
we
my.
need- well, Right, exactly. But you are going to stay in WoW until you find out if Sylvana. You just said
I think
if
you're
she's
right.
the bad guy, you're gonna quit.
I think you're right.
Well, you're gonna be
Um,
invested in it until you find out. So I think that's what's happening. You guys are all throwing a fit, and that's the
Yeah,
purpose.
I think that's
the
what they
purpose
want.
of
I
all
think
of
you're
this.
right.
Yeah.
My argument is that long term good for the story? Like, sure, they're gonna have a great launch.
Absolutely.
Everybody's gonna be here and great. But then if the characters that you have liked over all these years have now been ruined per se, then is that gonna be good for the
what
the
about
future?
redemption? What about
Yeah.
that's the draw, is if they can
Everybody
redeem
loves a
her
good
in some
redemption
way,
story.
it served its purpose. They have to do it really well because she fucked up.
Yeah, she did.
They're gonna
she
have
did.
to do something crazy. They're gonna have to reverse time or some shit. I don't know.
Oh god, not more
They're gonna
Bronze
have to do
Dragonflight
something-
crap. No, we've already got
yes,
enough.
reverse
No.
time. Let's do
Where
it again,
have the
guys.
dragons been though? Where's the
What
Okay,
those
anyway.
those that remain? You mean?
Raytheon.
I mean,
Still not
technically
over
they
that.
have their powers, right?
Raytheon,
I mean,
let's
they
go.
don't have their powers anymore, right?
Yeah.
Aren't
there's-
they supposed to be powerless?
people are gonna sit around and wait until they find out, and that's the point.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know, WoW needs subs. WoW needs people to come back and be invested. This is a great way to do it, and I think that everybody's getting riled up. That's the point. And
Mhm.
Sylvanas is going to get redeemed. Anduin's going to do something fucking stupid, and you guys are going to end up being like, like we've been hating on the Horde this whole time, and
So-
now Anduin's done something.
And when
not
and
so
Sylvanas
smart.
get together and hook up, and it's a romantic love story. Is that what's
Oh
going
my
on?
gosh, that would
End
actually be
podcast.
awesome.
We're done.
I'm not even gonna. I actually would be okay with that.
Throw desk.
But no, at the end of the day, like we said that this whole argument, this whole thing, a lot of people are really angry about it, and that's fine. You can disagree. Like we aren't all 100% agreeing on this story point right now, and that is more than okay because, well, for one, you're right. It's good. It gets people invested in the story again, which people haven't been
Yes.
for years, really. I mean, I haven't been since
Yes.
Wrath. I have not been invested.
Me
Pandaria was
neither,
alright.
since Wrath.
Yeah,
It-
exactly.
like,
Since
yeah,
Wrath.
Wrath was the last time I cared about anything that was
And
happening.
as
in the
much as it
storyline.
pains me and as much as I am really angry right now, I am talking about WoW, so it is working to some degree. However, we are all okay to disagree, and we can do that because we are adults and all of that. Some people aren't okay to just disagree.
Yeah, to segue.
To segue into the second part of this controversy, because we haven't actually got onto the actual controversy yet. Several people, many people, I would argue, have taken it upon themselves to attack the devs, attack the writers, and in particular, I'm gonna make sure I get her name right because I keep calling her Golden. Christy Golden, who has only recently joined the World of Warcraft team, or more recently than some other people, and hasn't even been involved in any of these short cinematics that we've been having out, has been attacked on Twitter and given death threats. Because of course she has, because she's a woman on the internet in a public space. But yeah, so several of the devs, Christy in particular, has received harassment and death threats over this topic, and I just want to go straight into this topic and say that's not okay. That is not okay at all. You can disagree with the direction a story is going, and you can hate it. I hate it. I don't like it. But you can't go around harassing people on it. You can't go to somebody and give them a death threat over it.
I would
now.
go so far as to say as DNA absolutely does not condone any activity like that at all.
Absolutely.
That's why we're discussing it, is because if you attack people personally, like Grumpy gets grumpy about a lot of stuff.
It's true.
But he always, as soon as his chat turns that shit into like, oh yeah, and this person wrote it, or this person did this, he's like, no.
Yeah.
You can criticize something, but that is way different than attacking somebody personally. It's absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah.
Unacceptable. It doesn't matter how much you love Sylvanas and how many posters you have above your fucking bed. Like,
wait, I don't have posters above my bed. Like, they're on the wall.
We've seen
they're not on the,
okay.
they're on the wall.
It's
right
under the
next
bed.
to the bed, though, right?
Yeah. Gotta be able to, how else can I sleep?
Yeah.
I can't see her,
Death threats to her life,
Mm-hmm.
and just enormous amounts of harassment, and just it's cyberbullying. She's being like relentlessly cyberbullied, even though Blizzard on the forums, I read it, has shut it down. Like, this is unacceptable behavior. She's working for us. It's not her fault. Like a whole bunch of, they shut it down. It's not stopped for her.
Of course.
And so the people who are harassing her also say like, oh, well, she blocked me on Twitter. How dare her? Like, it's her work Twitter. She can't block me. It's like, excuse me?
She absolutely can.
She absolutely can. Just because you think you're entitled to your harassment doesn't mean she deserves to listen to it. She can absolutely block you.
Absolutely.
So there's just, go ahead, Grumpy. There's just a whole mess going on.
You're like, I've always argued for, I don't want to use the term like freedom of speech, because people often use that as an excuse to just say shitty things to people. It's freedom of speech. It's not. And that's a topic for a different day. But I don't want to use the term freedom of speech, but I'm always an advocate of you should be allowed your opinion, even if it's a shitty one. I always say this on my streams. You're allowed your opinion even if it's a shitty one. And I don't believe in attacking people for shitty opinions. However, there's got to be a boundary somewhere. And, you're entitled to have a shitty opinion, whatever your opinion is, I don't know. I hate the Alliance, whatever. That's your shitty opinion, I play both. Come on, Dre and I for life. But that's what I'm saying. You can have that shitty opinion, and you can express that shitty opinion. You can go on Twitter and say, "I goddamn hate the Alliance," whatever you want to say. But as soon as you start directing that anger, that energy towards a particular person or a group of people, like I give Blizzard shit all the time. I'm always saying, "Oh, Blizzard piss me off with their loot boxes." Sorry for the language, guys. But like I always say, like, Blizzard really annoy me, but I would never stand in a room with a Blizzard employee and go, "I don't like you because you did loot boxes." That's not how being a respectful human being works. And I will be honest, it's always women that get it worse than men. It's a fact. They always pick on the women more. Obviously men get a lot of shit on the internet too. But it's this attitude of that somebody did something I didn't like, so therefore I feel justified in going and attacking them. And that kind of attitude is something that I cannot stand. I don't like mob mentality. I don't like, attacking people for their opinions. And I don't like attacking people for things that they do wrong. Or in this case, they didn't even do anything wrong. They literally just did a story that you didn't like, and I don't like the story either. But
you're absolutely entitled to tell her, I don't really like the direction this is going.
Of course.
I'm upset with the direction this is going. Oh my God, my people who are taking care of my yard are here.
Y'all do like what I gotta chuckle about this a little bit, because she didn't have anything to do with that part of the story either. Like, she responded on Twitter. She's like, it's already like that was there before I even got my hands on it.
Doesn't matter
like,
to a
she
lot of
didn't
people.
do anything
But
wrong.
people are
Doesn't
still
matter.
allowed to say,
So,
like, I don't like this. She is
attack
a part of that
her.
team. Right, but don't say, I don't like this and you did it. How dare you?
It's very interesting that you say that, Echo, because only a few weeks ago we had the complete opposite, didn't we? With I forget her name now. Somebody Price. Not Katie Price, that's someone different. What was she called? Jessica Price? Was it someone in chat? Was it Jessica Price? For those of you who are not familiar, a Guild Wars 2, a couple of the Guild Wars 2 writers, it's funny, it's always the writers, right? A couple of the Guild Wars 2 writers, one of the Guild Wars 2 writers put on her personal Twitter, which was the one that she used, on her personal Twitter, she said, I work for ArenaNet, ArenaNet developer, writer, whatever. And somebody came to her and said, basically, she posted a really long thing about writing in video games. So somebody came and had a critical point. Somebody, I think a streamer, came to her and said, "Look, I just think here's some critical points," but was absolutely respectful about it. This guy said, "There we go." Terran was like, "Look, I disagree. Here's some points, but he even started the tweet with, "Thank you for putting together this discussion topic. Here's my thoughts," and that was it. And she went mental. She went absolutely crazy. She was like, how dare you tell me how to do my job? Why is it men feel like they can come in and tell me what to do when they're not professional writers, blah, blah, blah. And she ended up getting fired. She got fired from ArenaNet. She lost her job over it, which I'm not supporting that, because at the end of the day, someone just lost their job. She just lost her income.
I don't think that it's a good thing she lost her job, but to not be open to criticism to the people that you provide content to is, I mean, if you do something in a public area, like if somebody came into my stream and said, "Hey, your music's too loud, like I can't concentrate, your music's too loud," like that's the kind of criticism that we all are like, we switch and we adjust, we provide public content for people. So she opened a forum allowing people to criticize her content, and then got really upset and in a public way about people criticizing her content. ArenaNet's like, "Sorry, like you did this and now you're behaving in a way that doesn't represent our company." There was probably other stuff going on, we don't know, but I do support ArenaNet standing up for their content being criticized. And I'm sure that's really important to you too, Grumpy.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what I'm saying. There's a big difference. You can criticize someone and that's okay. Attacking is different, and in this case, Jessica thought she was being attacked when everyone else didn't, and again, like I sympathize with her. If she felt like she was being attacked, then this is why I don't support her losing her job. I think maybe she should have had a warning or something else, but anyway, that's beside the point. That she felt like she was being attacked, but nobody else did. That, in my opinion, there was no clear attack there, and this is what I'm saying. There's two sides to this story. You should be open to criticism, but you shouldn't have to be subject to attack. Those are two very different things. And in my opinion, if you don't know the difference, if you're writing something and you can't clearly say if this is an attack or not, don't post it. In my opinion, I think that's the safest way to do it. But it kind of segues into something we all kind of want to talk about, because as you quite rightly say, Echo, we all work in a public forum. Twitch is a public open place. Anyone can come into your stream and talk to you, and cyberbullying is something that goes on a lot. It's something that's kind of, I mean, we've all, if you want to call trolling a form of cyberbullying, because often I think it is, I think trolling is a form of cyberbullying.
Depends on if it's invited or if it's uninvited, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's a big difference between trolling like JP trolls, when you know someone and having a bit of banter.
That's invited. Yeah,
that's invited. Yeah. And yeah, absolutely. I mean, I troll all of you, really. Whether you like it or not. Yeah. But there's a big difference between doing that and going into somebody's stream and saying, "This is shit," or "You're crap," or "I don't like your face," or worse. We've all heard. We don't need to repeat some of the things. Much worse. Yeah. We've all seen it. We've all heard it. We don't need to repeat it. But on that topic, what kind of experiences have you guys as streamers? What kind of experiences do you have with trolls? If you feel comfortable in sharing it, of course. Like Echo, I know you've had plenty as your time in your 4 months of streaming. You've had plenty. Like, how does that feel for you?
So trolling can manifest in so many ways, and people who hang out in my chat know the difference between what's invited and what's not. So JP, Grumpy. At first, so I had a regular viewer, and a lot of people know who he is because he hangs out in other chats now, Saphian. When he came into my chat during a raid and was like, "You're doing this wrong." And I'm like, "No, I think." He's like, "No, you're bad. You absolutely did that wrong." And I was like, is he trolling me? Like, what is happening? But he's turned into a regular, like, accountability person. Like, I don't think it was with malice. And so you have to be careful. Like, you don't really know sometimes, but sometimes it's also very clear. Like, every stream, there's either somebody we have to ban or somebody sends me a PM afterwards that I don't talk about, because why? It usually happens during stream and I check it afterwards. But I've since closed my PMs, but sometimes they find me, like Discord, doesn't matter. They find an avenue, Twitter, to send me something that's meant to make me upset intentionally. And I think that it's important to remember the difference between what Grumpy, JP, and a lot of the people that come into my chat that make fun of me or poke fun at me or try to get me riled up, like those are invited banter, like those are that's trolling, yes, but in the nicest, friendliest sense. And people who come in that I don't know them, they know what they're doing. And there is a fine line between trolling and cyberbullying. And I think that we kind of blanket statement trolling because it's really easy. Like everybody knows exactly what you're talking about when you say, "Oh, they were trolling me." Um, Whereas Adonria and I both have pretty serious experiences with cyberbullying, where they're doing something and it's the intent is to ruin everything that you're doing right now, ruin your mood, get you banned on Twitch because a lot of it's racist or sexist or really like foul language and or directed sexually at us. A lot of the times, like you guys will get the racist crap, Grumpy. But a lot of times, Donry and I will get the sexually motivated.
I mean, I'll put this out there. I've had it too. I've had the sexual stuff too.
So
I roll with it though. It doesn't bother me as much. But that's
right.
You know, that's they usually stop once they know it doesn't bother me. They stop.
Right.
I get it
and
back.
That's what I've noticed also in my chat is when I ignore the person, like they follow and they say something, and I just don't even like. I read chat the whole time I'm streaming. I know like that if I've never seen the name. If their name sounds a little weird in my head, or if the chat is like, "Hi, I dropped you a follow." Immediately, I'm like, "Yep, I'm not reading anything else they say."
Yeah.
Because they're baiting me into acknowledging their existence. So it's trolling, yes, but the bigger issue is cyberbullying. What she was experiencing on Twitter is the same thing that we experience as streamers in like capsulized, like we get it every stream in different ways, but it's demoralizing, first of all, because you wonder if your chat noticed or if now they feel uncomfortable in your stream. It changes the mood sometimes. It depends because if they spam you, like Guzzy's experienced this, Adonria's experienced this, so they get into your social media and they spam your chat and they spam your stuff, like that changes your whole stream. Like, what do you do after that? If it's just one instance, you know, shout out to all the mods that hang out in our chats because when they ban them quicker than I can, I'm always like, hell yeah, because I'm ready on the ban hammer. And I've done it several times for myself. But when our mods can catch it, you know, I feel better about that. But it's something I experience every stream, publicly or not. And it is very demoralizing. I have thin skin. I'm not gonna play around. Like that stuff sometimes gets to me. I've been a woman on the internet for a really long time, but I've also hidden the fact that I've been a woman. And I think that speaks volumes to what we experience, especially when we're on camera. You know, I got to a rating officer, a healing rating officer in WoW in a like third on the server, first or third on the server guilds without them knowing I was a woman.
Yeah.
I got to be an officer. They promoted to an officer and they're like, "Oh, you're a girl?" I'm like, "Yep." Like all the way through, but I hit because I didn't think I was going to be received well. And I'd seen how some people, like not my guild, I love my guild, but how some people treat women in games. And I was wary to tell people or even speak in chat. Like I didn't talk in voice. Like it's a scary place sometimes. It's very demoralizing. I know Adonria has experienced the same stuff, even though who would pick on Adonria?
I know.
It's like I have a baby. Actually, that's actually one of the trolls that I had experienced. Is I was dumb. We learned this real quick up in Adonria. Do not put baby in your title, guys. Don't do it.
Yeah.
That brought out some creepy people. Yeah. So don't do that. But yeah, that was one of the experiences I had. But yeah.
I stopped doing doggo cam in my title because people come in and say they want to eat my dogs. It's like
it's kind of weird. You're like, oh, okay. So for the future I won't do that. But
yes. I've stopped, even though that's like my mission.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's hard for me because I'm like, oh, mom, I have a baby. Like, it's here. Like, I can't.
Right.
She's here right now. Like, there's nothing I can do about that. So, though, as long as I don't put it in my title, I've never experienced anyone coming in like being inappropriate. and that is a worry that I do have. Is you have those trolls, and there are some really creepy, gross people out there.
Yeah.
But I've
Yep.
never had any of those weird comments in my chat. So
That's awesome because
I know that
every stream
it might happen, but so far.
but the idea for me is that I know that it's gonna happen, even if like it's not gonna be the same type of trolling every time. But I have such a great community, like they know it's also going to happen. Even new people to my chat are like, "Whoa, get out of here with that."
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah,
they're
so
already
cute
here
when,
defending me.
I know.
Like it's such a warm fuzzy feeling, and now it really does cancel out the trolls. I
Yeah.
have thin skin. My community is strong enough, and oh my god, to cancel out the trolls.
Oh yeah, Mo time.
Wow. But it's interesting because I've always said I've not done it for a while. I need to get back into doing it again. But I used to do Wonderful Women Wednesday, mainly because I see you guys. I'll be honest, most of the streamers I watch are female, just because of how DNA is.
Of course,
yeah, not in that way. I don't know.
I know.
But I see it happen all the time, and you're absolutely right, Echo. For you, it happens daily. For me, it happens once a week, maybe. And Cthulhu, you say that you haven't even experienced it yet. You haven't, not a single time.
I get my invited trolls.
Yeah.
The people who I'm cool with, but I think a lot of it has to do with where I am time zone wise. I think that definitely helps because I'm not in the prime time where y'all struggle with that, where there's a lot of people. I don't have a lot of people when I stream. My time zone is before y'all in the EU wake up.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I come from. But although I don't struggle with it, my wife, she plays Ark on the Xbox, and she's pretty well known within the Ark community just because she's been playing since it released, and she deals with us all the time. Yeah, she'll get she's strong though. When someone she feeds into the trolls, but she'll also shut them down really quick. Yeah. It's hilarious. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she handles it. She'll tell me something like someone said, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Sorry. But I'm like, really? Let me at him. I might not be, the biggest dude, but let's go IRL. Let's go right now.
Your wife's officially invited to my stream. Formally invited to teach me how to deal with trolls.
But this is the thing. We've discussed this before. Like, I think a lot of these cyber bullies, these really bad trolls, the ones that want to ruin your day, they do pick on women. I think it's I hate to say it, but it's just a fact of life. I think they do pick on women. I don't know if it's because they think they're going to be an easier target, or if they're going to be able to upset you more than they would upset me as a man, or what. I don't know what the reason is, but I definitely do think that they do definitely pick on women more. And you're right, Echo. It's because they want to ruin your day. They want to interrupt the flow of your stream. And now I'm sure you don't mind me saying, Echo, you've actually had an experience one time where you actually ended your stream because you just was not in a good mood after an experience you had. And this is kind of what they want.
Yes, absolutely. And the best part about now, knowing what to do, as far as ignoring them, and if they get crazy, being able to ban them, they can still watch your stream after you ban them. And I think it's important that my follow-up is that's not cool. If they've at least made an impact, we're just ignoring them. But yeah, I've felt inclined to end my stream because I've had persistent harassment that I didn't know how to handle. Yeah. So it's definitely, that's their goal, is if you react and if they can see that they're getting under your skin, that's what they want. It's so interesting because I'm going to kind of segue back into WoW a little bit. I think a lot of people were talking about the war mode and how world PvP and camping, lobbies and stuff like that was such a big deal. And I think that those are the same people that troll. If your goal in the game, hold on. If your goal in the game is to make somebody else's experience miserable, because that's what that is when you camp a lobby relentlessly, killing them once or twice because it's fun, because it is fun when you can one-shot somebody. That's not camping. That's not a relentless assault on somebody. But if your goal is to make it so they can't play the game anymore, that's the same thing, in my opinion. If your goal is to make somebody miserable, you're a cyberbully.
It's very
just
interesting.
Because you're behind a keyboard doesn't mean it's okay.
It's very interesting that you bring up the war mode one, because this is I was very much anti war mode. I don't like it. I'm not going to get into that today. But I was on my stance on this in World of Warcraft. So if you don't know what we're talking about, different servers on World of Warcraft used to be either PvP servers or PvE servers. Now a PvP server, you could attack anybody anywhere almost. You could attack if you are a Horde player, you could attack an Alliance player out in the world anytime. If they weren't in a major city, you could attack them pretty much. And I've always played on PvP realms. I've always have done. I've always enjoyed that. I've always enjoyed the fact that I can kill other people, including lower levels, and that they can kill me. But this is why I argued for having that we had the option. If you went on a server that was PvP enabled, you knew that was going to happen. And I still think we should have a server that is a dedicated PvP enabled all-time server, because I like to kill lobies and I like to be killed as a lobby. But again, that was like you're saying. It's almost about inviting them in, isn't it? It's like invited banter. If you know you're going into a realm and that you could be killed at any time, you know that. And it's the same as if I come into your channel and I give you shit, I know that for
it's
example,
invited.
Yeah, exactly. And I know for that if you're gonna say, Grumpy, that's enough, now stop, I'm gonna stop.
Right.
If you're having a bad
or
day,
if you can, because your goal isn't to make me upset.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you visibly see that maybe something was a little off key, like it didn't really get received well, like your goal isn't to make me upset, so you stop. Whereas that's the difference. Like if you are now questioning whether or not you've hurt somebody or been a cyberbully, which nobody in here is, but should you ever feel like maybe your comment was off key with somebody, you need to remember that if your goal is to make them upset, then you're a bully. You're a cyberbully. And if your goal is to have banter, then you need to maybe have a conversation with that person, but that's it. You're not, there's a big difference, and it's all about intent. It's all about intent. And some people will mask their cyberbullying as, oh, we're just having fun, right? But if that other person isn't having fun, then you're a bully.
Yeah.
And you have to have that social and interaction experience to know like when it's off key. But once you figure that out, you either stop and it's banter, or you continue and you're a bully. And you can recognize that stuff pretty quick if you've ever been cyberbullied or been picked on or trolled. So
yeah, absolutely. Like I say, it is all about the intent. If you're intending to make someone feel uncomfortable, you're a bully. Like, I mean, again, little amounts of uncomfortable. If I put you on the spot on a podcast, Echo, and be like, you talk now, it's different.
You said something to a new person in Discord about how I get around. That person had no context. I was like,
yeah, but I very quickly immediately said that was a
yes,
joke,
exactly.
guys,
You knew.
Yeah,
you knew real quick. You're like, wait a second. Yeah. While that would have been great live, like in my chat, these people are new and they don't know me. Exactly. I'm not the Discord whore. Sorry.
Wow, Discord whore. Well, that's me. But no, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's a very big difference, and I just think that I have to believe in my head that these people are going and attacking people on Twitter that are younger. I can't.
You'd hope so, right?
For my own sanity, I can't imagine that these people are adults.
But it's probably not, honestly.
So little hope for future generations if we just assume it's some kind of adolescent. It's not though. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not just that. And it's if it is them and they're not being corrected, and they're allowed access to the internet like this. Like, it's not just an adolescent issue, even if it is a majority of the people making those decisions and trolling, because I know when school got out, I got it more. So I know it's these high school kids or middle school boys or something, funny. Whatever, that think it's funny.
That's my wife's target group that gets her. She's like, you're 16. Like F off.
Exactly.
Go away. I ain't got time to deal with your shit.
While it may be the majority young people, that's also still a older generation's problem. We are perpetuating / allowing this in several different ways. And it's not to criticize anybody's parenting skills or something, because it's majority of the time, it's not the parents' fault, regardless of the mistakes they've made or the choices they make in parenting. It's that the culture itself, the video game culture, has not changed over decades of video gaming, that people are being harassed. It used to be different ways back in the day or whatever, but it's now different, you know, like it's happening in different ways, and they're finding new creative ways to troll, but it's a culture that we can stop perpetuating in a sense. It just takes a couple people to stand up and be like, dude, that's not welcome here. And as long as you're looked up to. So Grumpy, if you had a small, like a younger audience, like you play Fortnite and you had a younger audience and you notice, I know, and you notice that some of your audience members, when you raid, tend to be kind of disrespectful, or they tend to say things like, oh, you're bad, or Grumpy could whoop your ass or something. You have a responsibility as somebody who's an influencer over those people to say it's not okay. And that's what we lack, I think, because the adolescents are 100% responsible for what they're doing. But like right now, this group can have a younger audience. We just don't know it sometimes. I get PMs from people who are younger and I'm like, oh, like I automatically assume you're an adult. Like that's hard. Yeah. But you have an influence over young, future generations that is important. And I think not just us, but everyone has a responsibility to identify that behavior and be like, that's not cool. It's not welcome. And you need to like reevaluate how you're behaving. And it's not to parent, but it's because we're influencers. We all are, regardless of what our viewership is like. So
it's true. I mean, I think it's very difficult for, the bigger you grow, like the bigger streamers who have huge followings and huge viewership, like how do you control that? I mean, you can say to 1,000 viewers, don't be arseholes. That doesn't mean that all 1,000 of them are not going to be arseholes, right? And I think this is a big reason, because a lot of people say like, oh, why doesn't Ninja raid someone at the end of a stream? I think that's why.
That's why.
I think that's exactly why.
He doesn't want to be responsible for what happens afterwards, and I don't blame him.
I don't
blame Ninja for his viewership either, because it's not his responsibility to parent them and to make sure they behave correctly. But it is like he is making a very responsible choice, not raiding somebody.
Yeah.
Like that's the best he can probably do with his viewership, is not to raid somebody, because he knows that's very, very smart. And that is like, once you get to that level, that is the responsibility you take.
Yeah.
The rest of us can address everybody pretty much individually that's in our chat. Like we know them by name. We see them, like they, our chat's not scrolling too fast. We can read everything. And if somebody's doing something bad, we can say like, nope, not okay. But he doesn't have that luxury. So he's making the best decision he can for his community and for the people that he would potentially show support to. They have to understand they don't want his viewership, even though they do. They don't, right? Because he can't control it.
Exactly.
So
I mean, this is a whole nother topic we've had before about you get to a certain. Right. Are you okay?
Yeah. I thought they were gonna turn on the leaf blower again. I'm like,
getting ready.
But yeah, this is hard, isn't it? Because we all want to grow, we all want to be huge one day or whatever. And you're right, you get to a certain level where you can't have that same one-to-one interaction that you do with smaller streamers. But I think you can always set the tone for your stream. Like even Dr. Disrespect, right? Even Dr. Disrespect, who's a bit of an arsehole, let's be honest. He's not an arsehole, but he has that persona. He has that.
That's his character.
Persona. That's his character.
He's a character.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
two different streamers.
Absolutely.
People who are themselves and characters. He's a character.
Exactly. Yeah. But his character, whatever, doesn't sit there and go, let's go and harass somebody today, guys. That's not right. He wouldn't be the big size he is if he did. And this is what I'm saying. You can set the tone. And again, if I act away, if I say a swear word on my stream, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can do the same thing either, but you set the tone without necessarily saying don't harass someone. Like there's a, you should never have to say that. You should never have to say, chat, don't harass somebody today.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Like we have a responsibility on the tone of our content, and we have a responsibility how we act as well. I'm very conscious of this as somebody who gets angry a lot on stream, as somebody who criticizes companies heavily, because I criticize Blizzard all the time. I criticize, EA, Activision, all of these, right? As somebody who criticizes a lot, I'm very conscious and very careful that I don't, go into attack mode, because that's not what I want to do. I want to criticize heavily. I want to say that is bullshit what you just did. Loot boxes are ridiculous. Get them out of your games. But I don't want to go to somebody and say, I hate you because you did loot boxes, sort your life out, because that's not the tone that we want. That's not the correct solution to the problem, And I think in this case, in the WoW case, I think a lot of people have realized there's a problem here, or they perceive a problem like I do. I perceive a problem. And they think the solution is going to attack somebody. And I can't, for the life of me, condone that kind of behavior. I can't.
Those are the people who want to be heard and feel like nobody's listening.
Yeah.
And so they make a big hullabaloo. I don't even think it's necessarily that they feel so passionate about the topic, because they do, but it's not enough for them to behave like crazy people. It's that those people don't feel heard. They feel shut down, whatever, and they don't know how to handle that kind of stuff. It's the same person that can't handle criticism. They can't handle the criticism themselves, but they're ready to dish it out. And if nobody's going to listen and tell them they're right, they're going to keep going up the ranks. Those people that harassed her posted on forums. They talked in an open forum with people and got told that they were wrong. And so they took it a level up. Like, they don't start there. It's like an escalation of an issue where, we shouldn't have to give those people an open forum and listen to them and tell them they're right. It's that the fact that they believe that that's what they're entitled to, so that they take it to the next level, which is harassment and cyberbullying.
Yeah, exactly.
I just wanted to jump in. Psychosis made a really good comment, right? Most people have forgotten that it takes a community to raise a child. Like, we're sitting here talking about how it's our responsibility, if we ever make it big, or even at where we're at right now, like that, this is what children, and even us, we're not that old either. This is the community that we're growing up. We're still getting older. We're still around. So it's our responsibility to foster the right, attitude, the right mindset. So over here, I don't remember maybe last summer, I forget what that YouTuber's name was. You guys will remember as soon as we start talking about it. Logan Paul.
Yep.
So this is probably going to go off topic a little slightly, but that was all over Japanese news. Do y'all realize that? Stuff that an American did, just, being dumb, what we find funny, what things, that people are growing up with now. That's just entertainment that they want to watch. The rest of the world looks at us as Americans, or grumpy, but they're going to associate you with American too. Straight up, I'm not even going to lie. They're going to look at you. You're American. And then you start talking. They're like, oh, he's got a different accent.
Yeah.
But different kind of American.
We make such an impression on the rest of the world.
Beta American.
Beta American. but seriously, when we do that type of stuff, and that's just what you guys are talking about, making that impression, that fostering the right mentality, which you're above me, but Adonria, the way you go about your stream being, family friendly, I wish I could be that way. I've just got a bad mouth. I went off one day. You guys heard about that, and how I deleted that stream because I felt so ashamed of how I acted and how I responded to someone doing me dirty in a video game. And what else do you expect? That's the culture and the community that we have in video games now. So being that positive person to look up to, even if you're not shutting everything down right away, because like me, I don't have that opportunity to shut stuff down, but talking about it and promoting being better, just passively doing it, is going to slowly make a difference. Mm-hmm. And eventually, bullying and cyberbullying is always going to be around, because cyberbullying is just a new form, because that's how people communicate these days. It's the interwebs. I would have never met you guys in the 90s. There would have been no way.
Right.
But now, this is the opportunity we have. So it's just our job, and chat's job, and everybody's job who gets here on the internet and on social media, just to be positive about it, and not foster this hate and this irrational and this disrespect towards other people.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to, respecting each other. We learned this in 3rd grade, the golden rule, right?
Yep.
Golden rule: treat other people the way you want to be treated. Why do you want to watch someone suffer? I got picked on so much as a kid. So
Ditto. Yeah.
Bullying's a big thing. I went through some crazy stuff growing up, and I'm sure everybody has. But
right.
It's just, we just got to do better as people.
Honestly, our community is a great display of how hungry gaming community is for actual positivity.
Yeah.
It's a great reflection about people gravitate towards DNA because this is where it's actually nice to be.
Mm-hmm.
And we perpetuate that. And I think we're doing a good job, but it's always good to keep that in mind, that something you say or do could be perceived as condoning something we don't. And just to keep that in mind, just like, the people thought they were entitled to say something on Twitter to her, Grumpy, some of your rants could be a ticket to somebody to feel like they're entitled to do the same thing.
Of course.
But you are constantly aware of that. Honestly, I feel like every time you go a little bit, not far on a rant, but you dig your heels in, you always backtrack a little bit and say, but we don't hurt people because of this.
Honestly, it's
time.
something I'm very, I struggle with a lot, and I've spoken to you, Echo, about this off stream, because I'm always very critical person. I am, especially of the video game industry, especially of big corporations, partly because I've worked for big corporations. I know how, exploitative they are. But I again, like, I am highly critical of all this stuff. And that comes across in my rants, but I'm always concerned that you're absolutely right, that one of my viewers is going to go, oh, Grumpy's so right, loot boxes are so crap, I'm going to go and attack someone. And I'm like, no, that's not, part of me having this platform, part of me, wanting to do my rants and things on Twitch, and part of the reason why I am called Mr. Grumpy Face is because a lot of the things in the video game industry make me, they annoy me, and I wanted a platform to talk about it. I wanted a platform where I could go, do you know what, guys? I goddamn hate loot boxes. I hate microtransactions, and this is partly what my channel is. It's like my soapbox. It's the thing that I can stand up on and go, guys, I don't like this stuff. And my hope is that my voice will be heard, as other big influencers have. Jim Sterling is very anti loot boxes. A lot of big influencers have been, and they have like rallied the community together. And now a lot of games that we're going to have loot boxes already are having them taken out. But that's a positive thing. You shouldn't be. I said that if another Blizzard game puts loot boxes in, I'm not going to play that game. That's my right to protest. I ain't going to go and attack someone because of it, because that's not what you do. Again, as Cthulhu rightly said, that is respect, and you have to respect my decision, because every time I talk about loot boxes, by the way, there is at least one person that goes, just stop complaining about it. And I'm like, no, because my right is, it's Cthulhu. Cthulhu, just shut up.
No.
Okay.
I spent so much money on loot boxes because your point. That's something that I like. Yeah,
they're addicting.
I'm like, I want the next one. And
yeah, exactly.
You've got a great
Adonria
point
said it
behind
perfectly. What'd you say?
They're addicting.
They are. They're designed to be.
That's the point. Is
exactly.
It's gambling.
They're designed
it's
to
addiction.
Be. But this is what I'm saying. I get, and I got really heated about it on a stream. Like, I got very heated. I think Grid Axma was the subject of my passion. Let's just say passion.
That'll work.
Yeah, we had a very heated discussion about it, and that was a discussion on stream, but between me and a couple of other people. But at the end of it, we sat down, and Grid actually, I'm sure you don't mind me calling you out on this one, Grid, but Grid actually messaged me afterwards and was just like, thanks for the discussion, and I was like, sorry, I got a little bit passionate about it. But this is what I'm saying: you don't take that and then go and attack somebody. There's a very clear distinction, and that's why. And you're right, Echo. I always try and say that if I get really passionate, I try and say, but that's all right to have a discussion about it. Now you move on, and hopefully if enough developers tune in to streams and they hear people complaining about their loot boxes or whatever, they'll take them out.
We also support that like across DNA, just to kind of tie it back into why we all are here. Like Snuggie has something that she's doing that she's very passionate about. Mm-hmm. Grumpy has his opinions that while some people get really irritated, that's how change happens. Yeah. That's how good change happens. That's how bad change happens sometimes. But everybody who stands up for something in DNA, like, that is in a way like the wholesome, like, we don't want to support stuff that's bad, and everybody here knows what I'm talking about. Like, if you're doing something that obviously is not okay, we don't support it. But stuff like what Snuggie is doing, what Wames did his charity stream, of course we support that. What Grumpy wants to be heard, we want him to be heard, because even if you disagree with him, it's still his right to have that opinion. And both sides, while there are good points, there's a certain aspect to what Grumpy has as far as like, that's a gambling addiction, and at least label your fucking games as gambling. Like, that kind of stuff is important, and we support that. So we want everybody to feel comfortable supporting how they feel.
But on the same token, sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Echo.
No,
on the same token, for all those people that disagree with me that really love loot boxes, because there are people out there that love them, they love buying them, whatever. That's what I'm saying. You are more than welcome to have that opinion, and I try my hardest, I really do, to discuss that with you and not shout at you for it. Like, that's what I'm saying. You're allowed to have that you know, you're allowed to disagree with me. In fact, I encourage you to disagree with me. And
Mm-hmm.
that's because we are all rational adults and we can all foster that welcoming community, not this is a, if you don't like, you know, if you like loot boxes, get out of DNA community. That's not,
Right.
you know,
It's not like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's, and you're absolutely right. Like, I think part of why we decided we wanted to make a community is because we wanted a positive space. And I think you're absolutely right. There needs to be more of that on the internet, because there's already plenty of negative places on the internet.
There's enough places to go where you're not going to be as welcome. Your opinions, your person, just you as a person is not going to be welcome. That you're going to experience negativity in a way that makes you stay, because where else do you go? And also could be directed at you, but none of us wanted that space. And we saw what was happening with all these friendships and all these, you know, these other streamers and other viewers that we were noticing creating a positive space. And I think the birth of DNA meant a change of how we experience the internet.
Yeah.
And just like we were saying, like, Ninja makes good decisions about not putting his community somewhere where it wouldn't be well received. Like, we're doing the opposite. We want to welcome more people. We want to have this place for other people too, because it's that important to all of us that there's a positive space for us to experience the internet, essentially.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. And if you haven't already joined DNA, I mean, what are you doing here? Like, do we have a link? Do we have a link for the DNA Discord?
It's been spammed every time somebody says DNA.
Fantastic. But yeah, jump in the Discord, guys. It is very good. It's growing very quickly. We're all having a good time. And again, it's not. I think we've been very lucky, and I don't want to jinx it. I'm touching some wood. That's a UK thing, I believe. We touch wood for good luck.
Knock on wood. That's
it's knock on wood.
We touch it. We touch wood.
But can we not touch wood in DNA's channel? Can we not? Okay, can we knock on wood instead?
I'll knock on the wood.
Yeah, let's knock
Thank
on
you.
wood.
Appreciate that.
Just for you colonials, I'll knock on that wood.
For us colonials.
But yeah, I think
you said it yourself. You guys are the beta, so we're what made the final product.
Yeah, there we go.
Which is not always better than the beta.
Thank you for that, Echo. Thank you.
Equally as good. Equally as good.
This is Echo. Pound that wood. Anyway, yeah, we haven't really had any real negativity. I'm trying to talk about DNA here, but we haven't had any real negativity yet in DNA, and it's going to happen at one point. We'll have to ban people, but so far everybody that's joined has
Mother
shared
Duck
our
will
values.
protect.
Yeah,
if you experience negativity in
IOTAC.
DNA, please DM one of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cert streamer, if you're more comfortable with a certified streamer, if that's where you hang out, PM them.
Yeah.
If you know Grumpy, Fi, or I, DM us.
Yeah.
If you're unsure of who to contact, Muffin is our community manager. If you don't know who to tell what's happening, tell him and he knows.
Yeah.
He'll take care of whatever it is. We all will take care of whatever it is. Absolutely no intentional negativity in DNA. You do not get to hate on other people. You do not get to hate on things for no reason, no bullying, blah, blah, blah. You guys know if you're uncomfortable and you need to tell somebody or you need a soundboard, just DM. All of our DMs are always open.
Yep.
And we will, I feel very fiercely protective over DNA. Like
Scarily,
this is it's a little scary. Yeah, absolutely. See, they know. There's just this feeling that if we don't protect it, we're doing something wrong. And I can't help but always feel like I need to check in with people. I need to make sure that it's still a safe space. And that's what makes DNA what it is, though, that we're all there for each other. Even if it doesn't happen in DNA, you can still tell somebody. It's good to be aware of somebody. Like if somebody comes and spams Adonria's chat with things that are inappropriate and you've seen them in other people's chat, let us know. We want to know where we should focus our efforts. Like if we have to kill them with love, we will. If we need to tell them, hey, tone it down, whatever, it's supposed to be a safe space for everyone, including the person who may not know they're hurting you. So if you have any questions, if you're not sure, just DM us and let us know. We are going to kill them with love.
Yeah, it's true. And we're not going to call you out either. We're not going to go, oh, by the way, Echo just messaged me and said that you've been bullying it. It's not going to be like that.
We will make every attempt for it to be anonymous.
Sometimes people can upset somebody without meaning to, and sometimes it just needs a little quick, hi, can we just have a quick chat or whatever. But Echo's right. Like I struggle with the term safe space because it's ridiculous to me because no space is ever
But you
safe,
know now. You know what
um,
it's supposed to. I mean,
But she's right. It's right. It's supposed to be a positive place. And if somebody is doing something that you think is not positive, just let us know and we'll deal with it. It's not, we're not going to call anyone out. We're not going to attack anyone. We're not going to do anything like that. Absolutely feel free to message any one of us at any time.
about whatever, honestly.
I mean, I'm quite busy.
Let us
But, no, I'm joking.
Grumpy is quite busy, guys.
Look,
Hold on, let me tell everybody. Oh, Grumpy is quite busy. If you just want to.
Thanks. Can you tell the workers outside? Because I got a lot of DMs.
Yeah,
No, what I'm saying is it might take us a little while to get back to you. We are all content creators. We are busy people, but we will get back to you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm up when y'all are sleeping normally, so
Yeah. So
Get
eat
out.
something in the middle of the
Good
night.
get out clothes.
I'm night shift. Night shift.
Nice.
Night shift. But no, you're right. Cthulhu, again, another wonderful thing about DNA is that it's international. We have people active,
Everywhere.
24/7 pretty much. I mean, Jesus, the messages yesterday, guys. The messages yesterday were... I was in them and I couldn't keep up with them.
I love that yesterday.
350 plus but when I woke up.
Yeah.
350. I was like, no.
Twitch was down. Discord was hopping.
Yeah.
We were... And that's great community building too. That everybody was like, where do I go when my favorite entertainment platform is down? To Discord, where my favorite entertainers are. Like
Which
that.
is why we made it, right?
It was beautiful. Yeah, it was perfect. It was beautiful. That everybody
great.
could come in and get the same experience they could in a stream chat, like essentially that's what that turned into. And it was a space for people to go when the other spaces were not available. So yeah, it was really fun. Sorry, Thulu. But
Rip my
great.
stream.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it was a
I
bad
tried.
day, which is why
Yeah.
I canceled my stream yesterday because Twitch was having
It was super
problems.
unstable.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
going to
I
be streaming
canceled mine
today.
too.
Yeah.
Just a very quick question to the chat. Sorry, I'm just taking over because this is only the second episode of this, even though this is technically the first episode because last week was a one-off special for DNA. This is going to be a regular thing as far as we can scheduling wise. It have to be, I'll do it by myself every Friday. It's fine. What are you guys in the chat right now? Because we've been kind of ignoring chat to a degree because it's a talk show and you don't really keep up with chat on a talk show. But what do you guys in the chat think about like a little question segment? Do you guys want a little question segment at the end, like a 10-minute thing where you can ask questions and we'll answer them? You're not interested? Let me know because we're still trying to figure out, because we're coming up to the end of the show. We've got about 10 minutes left. Ish. So yeah, do you guys want an opportunity for questions or not? Can we just have a yes or a no in the chat? How's about that? Yes for questions or no for questions time? Just so I can.
Yes.
We got one yes. 10 minutes. That's half a question. We're talking about questions generally for us as streamers or as for the guests, especially because the guests are going to change every week. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, if you maybe weren't here last week,
Yep.
Fantastic. There we go. The plan is that Echo and I are going to do this every Friday. We're going to be here and everyone else is going to be a guest. So it's kind of our show, even though it's my show. It's kind of our show. And everyone else is going to be a guest on the show. So every week it's going to be different people. So if we know who's going to be on the show, we'll maybe get you to prepare questions. Otherwise, I was thinking about maybe having a command set up for questions, like a question command or something, and we can read them out at the end. But everyone
And if
seems
somebody
to be...
can make a regular Friday show, we could use a mod to also gather questions. So if you're interested in making every Friday show, let us know. But we'll do that after, okay?
Yeah. But it seems like people want the question time, so there we go.
So direct your question at someone. So at to them in the chat and then ask your question and we'll see what we can do to get it answered here for a little bit.
That Echo glare towards Grumpy. She glares at me a lot.
I can't. That's how I use my face. I just communicate with my face.
Is Pepe on headset or hat? It would be the headset. If you guessed headset, you were right.
Who's
Great
the winner?
question.
Who's the winner? Who wins the prize? We don't have a prize.
We don't have a prize.
We don't have a prize. Sorry, guys. But yeah, like I said, this is going to be a regular show every Friday, 10 a.m. There might be a little bit of a scheduling thing with, because obviously we have guests that live in Japan and stuff. But I mean, you made it, Cthulhu. But yeah, we're going to be trying to do it at the same time every week. Once we've gone through all of the certified streamers. So the plan is to get all of the certified streamers on for at least one show, and then after that we can start looking at maybe non-certified
topic
streamers
related and all
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff. And
exactly.
other streamers outside DNA or
absolutely. That's the
et cetera.
That is the plan.
I just want to say, my wife just like when I muted myself and I turned that way, my wife walks in the door. She goes, "It's 2 a.m. Do you plan on going to bed?"
Did you tell her no?
That's exactly what I said. I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm good. We're going to Kawasaki tomorrow to ride the world's smallest escalator."
Smallest escalator.
Wait,
Please tell me you're streaming it.
We need explanation first.
Should I stream it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. My phone's pretty old, but lowercase J is doing I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's a worldwide scavenger hunt. I don't remember what it's for. And she's like, "Hey, one of the pieces on the scavenger hunt is the world's smallest escalator in Japan." And I'm like, "Yo, let me see what time. Let me see what it is." So I'm gonna go do it. So yeah, it's like an hour and a half train ride. It's like a 2-foot escalator.
Echo, I mean, the clue's in the title. It's the world's smallest escalator. I don't know.
World's smallest escalator.
Shut your pie hole.
No.
It's called the Poochie-lator. Poochie-lator?
Wait.
Something like that.
The Poochie-lator? That sounds like something completely different.
Well, Poochie is like little.
Good thing Adonria has a headset on.
Well,
Poor
so does
Tiny.
Shoto.
Yeah.
Poor Tiny.
Yeah.
Rip. All right, I feel awkward now.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry
Poor
about it.
Thulu. No, it's cute.
It
Okay.
kind of nicely
Well, cool.
segues into what's coming up on everyone's channels this week. And where can we find you as well? So Cthulhu, just get us started. Where can we find you?
Hold up.
What are you doing?
Hold up.
I mean, you muted yourself now as well. You're muted.
Wait, Thulu.
You're muted.
Thulu.
There we go.
Thulu.
Yeah, I don't know how I did that.
Pro streamers.
No one knows how you did
We're all
that.
pro streamers.
Oh, we
Nobody
are.
but pro here. Yeah.
Okay, so what did you ask? I'm sorry.
So, where
Upcoming
can we
streams?
find you and what's coming up on your channel?
Oh, well, where can you find me? Right above my head, twitch.tv/CthulhooWoW. Don't forget the WoW, and it's 2 O's instead of a U. So just like it's spelled, right up there. So what's going on is tomorrow there's no stream because I play Pathfinder on Saturdays, which is Fridays nights, time zones. Saturdays for me, and then Sunday is the game 2, the second part of Curse of Strahd, which is the beginning because my party died. Sorry,
You killed them.
Yeah, that is fair.
my party died.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
At your hands.
Strahd's for a 3rd time. I'm just kidding. But yeah, and then some WoW. I also on my Sunday, I will be streaming Vampire. So for my story-driven Sundays, so Vampire,
Nice.
and
not
then
seen
the
much
rest
of
of the week, I haven't seen anything about it either. So it's going to be a new thing for everybody then. And then the rest of the week will be myself streaming different lore talks. So that's what we're focusing on is lore in WoW leading up to BFA. So different characters. We're going to finish up Sylvanas, the little lore. We're going to dive into Sourfang, and then we're going to start Greymane and Anduin.
Awesome.
Yep.
Nice. Adonria, what about you?
So let's see. Today's Freak Friday, so that's gonna be fun later on today. The main thing though, I kind of want to talk about is I was thinking really hard lately what I kind of wanted to accomplish with my Twitch channel. And I decided that, I mean, after having a child, we've kind of touched on this a bit, kind of ties in with the whole cyberbullying. But I really, really would like to make a difference in the world, positivity, make this world just a little bit better because it sucks so bad right now.
Yeah.
And having a child really puts things in perspective for you where you're like, oh my gosh, if it's this bad for me, imagine when she's older. So the thing that I've started doing, is I'm challenging everyone in my community to do a weekly challenge. So this week's challenge was really easy. We're starting out easy, and then we're progressively getting hard. Because I wanted other people to join me because I'm just one person, just me, But if enough people join in, it'll spread, you know, so it'll influence more people. So this week was super simple, and all I asked people, give somebody in real life a genuine compliment. That was it. I preferred it to be an in real life person, but it could be someone online as well if you in person that you would like to share that. So every Monday we're going to kind of it. I have a space in Discord that I put together to have people share their experiences. And every week we're just going to do a new challenge. So that's kind of what's been new for me, and I'm super excited to see how it goes. Hopefully, so far it's been positive, I'm pretty sure. But I'm excited to see everyone's experiences and how they feel like it's making them, you know, feel like a better person. Because I notice when you go out of your way to help somebody else, it doesn't just help that person, it also helps you. You feel like a better person as well. And that's something I really feel like, you know, especially in an online environment, by, you know, spreading a little love, you know. So that's kind of what I'm doing lately. Other than that, I'm just streaming WoW, just WoW, pretty much. Just WoW, you know, and then Dead Space on Friday, and then you can find me on Twitch at Adonria. It's pretty easy, you know. Spelled just like how it says on wherever that thing is on my thing, because I can't see us, but yeah.
It's up there.
Is it up here? Okay,
right,
up
yeah.
here. Yeah, that's pretty much me. So yeah.
I really like that.
Awesome.
Just to interject, I really like that you're
Yeah,
doing
me
that.
too.
It's such a simple thing, but it has the potential to have a big difference.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping for. And obviously, it's gonna get harder, guys. It's gonna get harder than just a comment, but we're starting out super easy peasy mode. So.
Well, I can't wait to see what the next one is. So Echo, what's coming up on your channel? What's new? What's going on?
So this weekend, probably the crazy stream, but it could be Monday. I'm not 100% yet because I just got the new Fosters. So we're definitely doing a stream to introduce them. Some more WoW and Warframe, which I do Warframe on Wednesdays, and I've been doing WoW on Mondays and Thursdays. But to kind of figure out where I want to be as far as how many IRLs I'm going to do, I'm going to start on Tuesdays after my cooking stream, just continuing that trend. So after the cooking stream, I'll do the IRL with the dogs, and we'll have a topic and all of that stuff that we talk about. And then probably coming up this Friday, we'll be doing more variety games. Like I have a lot of, like, I've been doing Tales from the Borderlands, which I really, really enjoy. But there's a lot of games like that I want to play. So I have a whole list on my Steam that we're going to try to get through that I've been talking about for a very long time. So that's kind of the plan going forward, is IRL Tuesdays. We're going to continue to play WoW because I want to level the allied races and experience stuff coming up to BFA. Warframe has been really awesome. I love the community. I'm having a really good time. I love the game. So we're going to keep doing that as well.
Fantastic. So I am actually streaming today. It's supposed to be my day off today, but I am streaming today pretty much straight after this. I'm going to go and have a quick break, and then I'll be getting back into The Witcher, which I was supposed to do yesterday, but Twitch had problems, so I cancelled it. I will be doing... Yeah, rip. I have been putting some content out on my YouTube, which I'm just going to quickly shamelessly link. Can I even link? Oh, I'm doing it from... Sure, there we go. Yeah, I do YouTube stuff on Saturdays, which these podcasts, by the way, if you missed them or anything like that, they are going to be uploaded to that YouTube channel a few days later. So go and give that YouTube a sub, and then you can watch this again if you want to, or watch it, you know, if you missed it. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Sunday I'll be doing Sims, and then all week I have a whole week of no WoW. It's my first week of not playing WoW since I streamed. I'm having I'm having a little break from WoW just to ease me into BFA, because I needed a little bit of a break. So I'm going to be doing a whole week of no World of Warcraft. So I don't actually know what I'm playing yet. I can't even tell you. There's going to be at least a scary game in there. Probably on Wednesday. Wednesday seem to be my scary game days now. I don't know. But there'll be more Witcher 3. There'll be something fun. Don't know. Honestly, don't know. But no WoW for a whole week. But there we go.
To be determined.
To be decided. To be decided.
TBD.
Yeah, maybe run out, maybe some Guild Wars. I don't know. But yeah, definitely just I needed that break for BFA, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I get you.
But yeah, so you can find me at Twitch. You can find me on YouTube. I think, does anyone else want to plug anything else? I know, Echo, you have a Patreon for your doggos. Do you want to plug it?
Yeah, so for my channel, some of the people who have been by already get to see it, but all of my Patreons get their own chat command. So you get even the $1 Patreons, everybody gets their own chat command. You get a GIF and a sound, or a picture and a sound, and it'll be your name. And so when you come into chat, you can use your command. And so I do that for my mods as well, just so that they have stuff to spam too. But yeah, so my Patreon now is going to be it's going to be full supporting it's already been supporting the fosters, but as we come up to the end of the year, I want to save to make some renovations to the dog room. It needs new carpet, it needs new paint. So there's a lot of things I want to do. I'm also volunteering full time at the shelter, and they do have needs too. So while I don't have fosters, or while something else is going on, like I have a vacation coming up in September, so the 9th through the 15th or something like that, I won't be online. I'll be on a cruise ship. And then I believe it's the first week of November is BlizzCon. I probably will live stream from BlizzCon, either in a booth or in the hotel room to talk about what's happening. But that's also a time where I won't have fosters, obviously, because I will not be home to take care of them. So in those times, the proceeds will help me, make sure I get the shelter what they need, make sure that I'm still getting what I need for like future fosters. So yeah, definitely Patreon is super important. It's like one of the biggest ways to support me, the biggest way, aside from the 100 subs, which is also super awesome.
I will jump in on that selfish plug as well. I mean, my plug is way more selfish than yours, because yours goes towards doggos. Mine goes towards me. Mine goes 100% towards bills and food. But I also have a Patreon.
Well, it is towards me, but yeah.
Yeah. It's your dream. It's your dream, right? On that, my eventual, for anyone who doesn't know, my eventual plan is to at least visit America and come and visit some of the DNA guys, but one day potentially move there. And so yeah, Patreon, I have to plug it, because Patreon is right now my only reliable income. And yeah, my Patreon is the idea behind that is basically to get the channel where I want it to be, and the place I want it to be is to have an office where I can have several content creators. Hopefully some DNA content creators can come and work there too. But that's a long way from the future. But if you have a spare $1 a month, if you want to drop on my Patreon, it's just Mr. Grumpy Face. It shouldn't be too hard to find. There are links on my channel. There are links everywhere. Discord as well. But yeah, like, it really does help, guys. Patreons, if you have and not just me, not just Echo, if you have a favorite content creator, just check if they've got a Patreon, because $1 a month, which is less than a coffee a month, right? Really helps out. If every one of my followers gave me, $1 a month, I'd be able to do this forever full time. So if you have a favorite content creator, definitely check if they have a Patreon. And I promise you, $1 might not sound like a lot, but $1 a month, if enough people do it, is big. So yeah, does anyone else have anything they want to plug? Anything else they want to talk about before we wrap? No. It's an open invitation. No. Well, thank you very much,
so
everybody.
I am gonna do something in September.
What are you doing in September?
I know it's a minute away. So if anyone knows what September is, it's Suicide Prevention Month and Awareness Month. So I'm in the works of putting together a charity stream.
Nice.
For Project Semicolon. So if you guys haven't checked that out, check out Project Semicolon. It's just type it into Google, it'll come up. I'll let y'all figure that one out on your own, what it's all about. But I'm thinking that's where it's gonna go. So
say September.
I was kind of waiting. September is Suicide. It is only next month. I haven't, fleshed out everything yet. I don't really know exactly at all, because I've never done one of those. So I might hit up Wimes and figure out how charity streams work. But yes.
Wimes is the one to go to. No. Go
Sorry
plug
to
it.
throw that out there real quick.
That's the point of the end. The end part is to plug something you've got coming up on your channel, and yeah, keep us informed on that. I'd like to.
Definitely.
I'd like to get involved with that as much as I can. So fantastic. Again, thank you very much, everyone, for being here. This is technically the first podcast, which is going to be a regular once a week thing.
The first.
The first. Last week was a DNA
Adonria
thing. Last week was DNA.
Oh, wait.
You gotta go.
My camera's different.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah.
You're over here? I think right
Other way, Adonria. Other way.
Yeah.
Oh god, the YouTube video potential.
Can we do it?
Oh man. Oh
Wait,
man.
wait. Can we do that?
Yeah, sure. There you go. My hand's way bigger
Wait,
than
your
yours.
hand is huge. Hold on. Wait.
There we go. I'm also very
That's
pale.
amazing. That's amazing.
But yeah, guys, 10
You
a.m.
glow in the
Central.
dark. Pale does not even.
I do. No one would know, but I do. But yeah, 10 a.m. Centrals, guys. If you enjoyed this show, we're going to be doing this every week. There'll be different topics every week, but the format's going to be the same. And I'm going to incorporate question time. I promise you, next week there'll be a command for question time, so we can get involved with that.
Yeah,
all right.
we'll work on that.
We'll work on that, but we're gonna find someone to raid. And again, I will be streaming shortly. If you wanna carry on with the Witcher series, and a lot of people have been enjoying it, then it'll be live shortly. Should we see if anyone's available on DNA to raid?
Yeah.
God, where is it?
Oh, Blockhow is live.
Blackout. I mean, where's the community's gone? So the DNA channel has the new layout of Twitch, but I don't. So.
Oh yeah, it's hard. They don't show the communities.
I know. I gotta find it. Okay, so.
Yeah, Blockhow would be my vote.
Let's have a look. Communities. Bum bum. Why can't I get on there? Blackout. It is. Let's go and give him a raid. So if you are still here, guys, stay around. We don't have an official DNA raid command yet, do we? We'll get one. We'll
work on that too. Echo Birdbot has been slacking off.
Don't worry about it. It's look. It's been a hectic week. This is going to be a regular schedule. It will get more professional. I promise. Probably. Yeah. But thank you very much. Give Blackout, if you haven't checked out Blackout before, give him some love. Drop him a follow if you like his content.
He's wonderful. Yeah.
He is brilliant.
Yeah, he's a nice.
He's brilliant.
He's a nice guy.
He's fantastic.
He's a very good guy.
And we'll see you all next week.
Same time.
Bye.
Bye.
Same place. Morning faces. Bye.
Johnny.
Adios.
Sorry, you'd gone, but there you go. You're back just for the wave. You'd gone.
Yes.
But there we go.
Johnny.
Bye again.